Do some work, why? Do some work, why? Do some work, do some work, get some blood on your shirt. Do some work, get some blood on your shirt. Do some work, get some blood on your shirt. Do some work, get some blood on your shirt. Do some work, get some blood on your shirt. Take off your skirt, yeah, don't flirt. Get it in, yeah, it's time to win. Yes, it's time to get up, yes, it's time to win. Yes, free from sin, born again. Do some work, get some blood on your shirt. It's so frightening, it's exciting. When I get it in, it strikes like lightning. Electricity, do some work. Don't be afraid to get blood on your shirt. Yeah, sometimes it hurts, but I guarantee it works. Ooh, don't flirt, don't wear a skirt. Be a man, please understand. It's time to work, it's time to do additions. It's time to work, it's time to go on missions. Stay in tune with the God, fuck the squad. If you ain't in tune with us, yeah, I go solo, don't you know though? So 100 Nation, that's for sure though. I do the work, I get the blood on my shirt, oh my God, yes it squirts. But I let it release, I get the peace. Oh my God, I slay them devils, rest in peace. Till they lay down and deceased. And do some work, get some blood on your shirt. Don't acknowledge no shit that is fake. I can't stand police niggas, they're jakes. Yes, you cannot relate. Sometimes you do the math that doesn't equate. Oh my God, heaven's sakes. Oh my God, what the hell, yeah. What's the smell? I don't smell shit, cause you don't know how to do nothing. You don't know how to do it. Nigga, quit, forfeit, lay it down. Shh, don't make a sound. Yes, I'm profound and I get it in. Yes, we're born to win. I said, do some work, get some blood on your shirt. It's a soldier's life, nigga, blood on your shirt. Fuck all the laughing shit, fuck all the flirts. Fuck all the play shit, fuck all the skirts. We not feminine, we not like women. We like men, we get it, then we born again. Stop that shit, please, stop that shit. Do some work and get some blood on your shirt. Don't make me shake you up, don't make me wake you up. Don't make me slam you down, lay you to the ground. Shake you up, take the bitch out of you. Lift you up, take the bitch out of you. I pursue to take the bitch out of you. I pursue to take the bitch out of you. Ladies, don't be afraid. Fuck these niggas, don't be they slave. Yes, they'll take you down to the grave. Listen bitches, don't be they slave. Fuck with a king, be a queen. Come through, move like a machine. Stay mean and stay clean. Look up in the sky, yes, have a dream. Martin Luther King, the God that flows through me. Yes, they call me T-E-E-S-I-R-E. Sire, oh I'm on fire. Lightning strikes, I ain't no liar. I speak the truth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Press rewind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Press rewind. Yes, it strikes through the spine. It strikes through the roof. It's the truth. Mathematics, get it in. Mathematics, get it again. 1, 2, 3. Good Thursday night, world, and welcome to another episode of Lab Talk with the Dog God, aka the Coach, aka the Elon Musk of high performance working dogs. That is me, he is I, and I am him. Yeah, big salute to all my brethren in the building. Who do we have at pole position? We got our brother Cooper with that pole position. We got my brother Reddy with that second place. Big salute to you, my brother Reddy. And who else do we got, man? We got my brother Rock Solid Pitts in the building, man. My brother Rock Solid
Pitts with that third place. And you guys already know how I feel about that podium. You guys already know how I feel about that 1, 2, and 3. You guys already know how I feel about the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. You guys already know how I feel about that pyramid. You guys already know how I feel about that root number, that number 3. So big salute to all of you on the podium position. Let me see who else we got. We got my brother Duro Riso Bully Camp. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My brother Duro, Ricio, Bully Camp in the building, man. We missed you, my brother, and welcome back. We got my brother RKBB37, man. Big salute to my brother RKBB with all those special recipes that he stayed cooking up over there in his lab. Big salute to my brother RKB. Who else we got, man? We got my brother, the Bakari from Canada. We got my brother, the Bakari in the building, straight from Canada. Big salute to my brother, the Bakaria. We got my brother, Lucky Mills, Lucky Mills, Lucky Mills. We got my brother, Lucky Mills, Lucky Mills, and Lucky Mills in the building. Big salute to you, Lucky Mills. We got my brother, Caveman. Caveman. Big salute to my brother, Caveman. Glad to see you safe, man. I know you was out there doing that Willie Nelson on the road again, Caveman. So big salute to you, Caveman. We got my young brother, Verde Bulls. My young brother, Verde Bulls in the building. Salute to you, young brother, man. You know I got a lot of respect for you, young man. Keep it up. Keep it up. Coach is watching. We got my brother Tony. Tony has done it again. It feels good. My brother Tony in the building. I appreciate your consistency, brother Tony. And salute to all of you guys who will be trickling in, you know what I mean? Salute to all of you guys in the middle of the section who is not in the chat. Salute to you guys also in the back. Much love and respect to all my brethren. Excuse me. Now, before I get into my week, man, let's get ready to go, man. Let's get ready, man. Let's get that preparation H on deck, man. If you like your, what do we like, man? If you like your herbal sensations, make sure you got your backwoods, your swisher sweets, your paper planes, you know, your bongs, your gars, your edibles, however you partake in that herbal sensation. Please make sure it's that premium, okay? In this classroom, if you're going to go ahead and bake your brain cells, I need that premium up in there, man, so that you can get extra focused in the classroom. I need you to use that to focus, okay? That's why we're using that. We're not using that to doze off, okay? But I want you to have that premium where you need, take a couple hits, put it out. You know what I mean? Focus, you know what I mean? When you feel that flight kind of come down, you feel that flight start to come down, your highs start to land a little bit, take a couple hits, put it down. Make sure you got that premium ready to go. However you partake in it, edibles, if you want to drink it, put a lotion on, however you smoke it, however you fucking partake in it, get that bitch ready to go. And if you like the taste of hops, what do you like? The dark hops, the light hops, you like the designer hops, you like the malt liquors, hops, however you like to partake in your hops, okay? Make sure that bitch ready to go. If you like it in a cold, ice cold glass mug, take it out the freezer. If you like it out cold, out the can or out the bottle, make sure that bitch is ready to go. Crack that bitch. And if you like your hard liquor, man, you like your light skin liquor, your dark skin liquor, you like to take it in a shot, you like to take it out the bottle, or if you like to sipperoonie, okay? Or if you like the Coach, man, you like them concoctions, you like to cut it with some shit, man. You like to do that Sir Mix-a-Lot, you know what I mean? Do that Sir Mix-a-Lot, man. Get that bitch ready to go, because you know what the Coach got, right? I just keep it so simple because life is so hard. You know how, God damn it, life's so damn hard. I'm telling you, it's so hard, y'all. So any way I can find a way to simplify my life, I'm going to do it. So you know what I got right now? I got my vodka lemonade. That's right. Salute to all my brethren in the building. Cheers. Cheers. Let me get another one. Let me get another one. Oh, yeah. That's when it's good when you hear that. Quenching after hard days of that work, working more work 3 times. That's right. Do some work and get some blood on your shirt, my brethren. That's what we do when we soldiers, man. We're not house Negroes. You know what I mean? And this is all to all nationalities, okay? We're not in the house, okay? We out there in the field, all right? We the workers, man. We the workers, man. That's the only way you're going to achieve what you dream about in this life. That's the only thing that's the only way you're going to achieve what you pray about in this life. To the Most High God, whoever you pray to Satan, whoever you pray to, you bitch. I don't know who you pray to, but the only way you get those results when you speak those things in prayer is you got to do some work and get some blood on your shirt. Yes, sir. Big salute to all my brethren, man. My brethren is here. Now, like I always do, I like to debrief, okay? Oh, also, I want a big salute to all my new subscribers, man. You know what I mean? We slowly but surely growing. We are slowly but surely growing, and I'm very grateful to all of you who come here to learn and not to be entertained. You know, we are here for the elevation of the high performance working dog breeds, or working dogs, plural, any type of dog, whether you are a breed of dog or not, we're here for that, the betterment of those animals, okay? So big salute to all of you who is in this classroom tonight. All my new subscribers. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am the coach. Okay, you see on my screen name, it's the dog god, right? Okay, well, the dog god, I'm the dog god to my dogs. Okay, it's not a bravado thing. I'm not trying to compare who's dog god or not amongst other men. This is a title that God gave me when it comes to my dogs. I'm the god of my dogs. That's where the dog god comes from. Excuse me. Then you have the coach, okay? I'm a coach in real life, not a coach of no basketball, football team. I'm a life coach, and I coach men. I coach men, selective men, though. Not everybody can handle my coaching, and that's fine. But to the selective few that I have in my circle, and it's only a few, I roll like the Christ. He only roll with the few. So I have a few men that I coach, and we actually coach each other at the end of the day. But, you know, I'm a life coach. But in this dog shit, right? In this dog thing that we're dealing with right now, we're interacting with the dogs. I coach what I do in dogs. Everything that I do when it comes to what I do as far as high performance working dogs, everything I've learned through experience, everything I've studied, everything that I'm trying to be, you know, where I'm trying to go. Okay, I teach that X's and O's, okay? So I'm the coach of that, all right? So I want to clarify that. I have 3 vibes as a coach, all right? I've got to explain this to the new guys. So I got 3 vibes. I got Coach Tony Dungy as a part of my vibe, you know what I mean? He's very level-headed. He rarely curses. He talks real even. He looks you dead in your eye, talks to you man to man. Okay, he's very relatable. Okay, I'm that coach. Okay, then I got Bill Belichick. He's like the middle. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he's going to throw the chairs out. Sometimes he's going to curse you out. Sometimes he's going to be level-headed. Sometimes you will never get no emotions out of him, but you know he's serious. But you know he's going to win. Okay, that's Bill Belichick. Okay, then I got Bill Parcells. And Bill Parcells, you know what I mean? If y'all study Bill Parcells, man, he the old school coach, man. He tear the whole fucking locker room up, curse you out, embarrass you in front of the class, all the shit. But at the end of the day, it's Bill Parcells. You know, he only doing that shit because he's Bill Parcells. And, you know, he a win-win-win coach too. Legendary coach. So at the end of the day, I embody all 3 when it comes to what I represent in these dogs. Okay. So I'm teaching you guys what I taught myself through the practice of doing these high performance type of dogs. So for the new guys, I consider myself a player coach. Okay. I play for the team I own. Okay. And I coach. Player coach. That's me. So all the things that I'm about, I'm even harder on myself. So you guys in this classroom, you might get me getting kind of aggressive. You might get me getting passionate. You might hear me cursing, you know, all that stuff. This is a classroom for men. A classroom for men. All my women, ladies who actually trickle into this classroom, understand you can participate, you can come and whatever, but understand this is a male type energy, very, very masculine energy. Do not get turned off. You should be turned on by this energy that you get over here in this classroom, all this masculine, manly energy, because that's what I want us to be here when we're dealing with these alpha dogs, these dogs that can hurt somebody, can kill somebody. You know, the dogs that you got to really take control of, you have to have a very masculine, even approach to it. You got to control your Whitney, all right? So big salute to all my new subscribers. You know, you get to know who I am. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your professor. I'm not your life coach. I'm none of that stuff. But in this classroom, in this one, I am the coach of this classroom. I'm teaching what I do and how I coach myself. I'm coaching you. So if you're in this classroom, respect who I am as the coach. That's all I ask you guys to do. Outside of this class, if you don't do what I do in dogs, you ain't got to respect my coaching. You can just disregard me. You know what I mean? You don't even know me. Oh, coach who? Coach, you can be like, coach who? But if you really want to like elevate your program, you really want to elevate your dogs, this is the place to be, okay? Because I do what I coach, and you always respect the doers, okay? All right. So let me tell you about my week, y'all. Let me tell you about my week, man. First and foremost, y'all, you know, I got to start off with God is good. You know, even when you like this, look, check this out, fellas. Even when you have doubt, you know, there was an apostle or a disciple named Thomas, okay, which happens to be my first name. And Thomas doubted the Christ, Jesus Christ. You know, you might have even heard that term, doubting Tom, right? Doubting Thomas, right? Okay. Now, I know better. I know better because I'm seasoned in the field of life, and I've studied scripture. I studied the Quran. I studied Buddhism. I'm a real student in a lot of things. If I show you my library, you're like, damn, coach, yeah, like that. So I know better because I've read about all these individuals who was close to the Most High and how the world will affect you in a way to where you start doubting God, right? So salute to the Most High, like I said, salute to the Most High, because regardless of the situation I've ever been in, I've never doubted him. I've questioned him now, which you should know better. You don't listen. You don't question your daddy, right? I couldn't question my father. My father slapped me in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I talk back, smack, I couldn't do it. So our merciful Father, you know what I mean? The Most High God, you know. But see how the Most High God get us when we do some shit. He get us on the back end. See, you might think you're getting away with some shit, but he'll get you on the back end, and then you'll be reminded about what you did. And that's the reason why the shit happened to you. But but then that checks you. So anyway, I'm gonna give glory to God this week, okay? Because God don't make no mistakes, but we do. We make mistakes all the time, but God don't. And you got to be able to listen to God in your life, pluses and minuses, okay? And he speaks to us, okay? He speaks to all of us through everyday things that happen in your life, pluses and minuses. And you got to learn how to do the mathematics to understand what's right and what's wrong and who's speaking to you. Is it God, you, or Satan? Who's speaking to you? So me, I understand that math. I do. Well, that's why I'm, letting you, I debrief. That's why I debrief. Let y'all know who the coach is in real life, what I deal with every week, right? So anyway, this week, I get a DM from my brother Yella. And shout out to Yella. Yella, hopefully you hear, man, so you can hear this, man. Yella was like, you told me to hit you in the back street. Hey, Yella, salute, Yella. Real shit. So, of course, I slid on my number because I did tell him to hit me in the back street. Okay. And me and brother Yella, we had a talk like diplomats. We never talked to each other before, never met each other, don't know each other. That was our first time. Okay. we had to talk like diplomats for at least about like at least an hour. I'm gonna say at least an hour and a half. Talking about whatever we wanted to talk about. And unbeknownst to me, just in my my discernment on things, unbeknownst to me, I just let the spirit flow last live. I let the spirit flow. I was feeling some type of way, and before I came on, I told y'all I was gonna be Bill Belichick. I told y'all I told my brothers it's Bill Belichick tonight. I told y'all that. And so I let the spirit flow, however I was feeling in my spirit, okay? Which was an elevated level of emotion, which we call Whitney, okay? That's why I gave y'all the three levels. You got to be balanced now, because see, we humans now, born to make mistakes, but at the end of the day, we all feel. It's about how you manage your feelings or your Whitney, right? So anyway, I talked to Brother Yella. We had a good conversation, man. Real man conversation, really good. And out of that conversation that him and I had, it tied into another conversation that, needed to happen, needed to be had. Okay. And that was with my brother Duro. Shout out to Brother Duro. He's here in the chat. Salute to you, Duro. And through that interaction with Yella, our first time ever speaking, and it's like, it was how it was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? There was no feelings there was no negative feelings that we had toward each other to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I spoke something, I requested something, and he answered the request. And then our conversation was based off of even, because there was no energy, negative or positive, against each other. It was just, okay, now here we are, meeting face to face. Now let's talk. So our conversation led to, I wouldn't even call it resolution, because honestly, between me and Brother Duro, there was never no problems. Okay? There's never no problems. However, there was, I can't even say it was a misunderstanding between me and my brother. You know what I mean? Duro. It was just a lapse in time. And then us not getting to fully know each other. We only knew each other based off of the time that we dealt with each other. We didn't get to fully know each other and fully how to deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? Period. Like, period. That's really what it was. So then when we had our conversation, it was the full spectrum. He only knew half of me. I only knew half of him. Then when we talked, we understood the other half. Okay? And that's why I say, God don't make no mistakes. Okay? This guy right here, y'all enjoy the rest of the night. This is just goofy. Hey, you right here, Saber. I don't know if he was up here last time, brother. Hey, brother, I don't know what you're here for, man. But, if you want to come back, it's cool. But if you don't like real man shit, you need to get out of here, brother. We don't want you here, brother. Facts. We don't want no fucking guy who can't understand man talk right now. So Scram Jones, my boy. All right. So let me finish. So anyway, God allowed energies or people to intercede and connect dots and pretty much close a gap that was there for a while, which honestly was necessary, because it allowed the gap to be fully closed. Because before, Brother Duro, I'm sure he didn't know there was a gap, and I didn't know there was a gap. Okay, but there was a gap. So, I'm thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful for that. You know what I mean? And I do want to apologize to all of you. Like last week when I told you I was drawing the line and I clarified that line too, because Brother Tony was, he asked some questions that was legit, and I clarified the line, like, hey, you guys can still deal with my brother. I don't care. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold that against you, period. So I already clarified the line. I didn't say, you better pick one or else. I didn't do none of that shit. But I had to draw the line at that particular time because I don't want the spirit. Like I said, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I got to, being this is my debrief. I live the trifecta life, the mind, the body, and the spirit, and I balance all three. I try to. It's hard. Mind, put the work in for the mind. The body, I put the work in for the mind, and the spirit, I do the same thing. And I try to balance all the work to get the full extent of that. Trifecta, 1, 2, 3. Y'all know how I feel about the 3. You know how I feel about the 3. So, spiritually, I do believe in spiritual warfare. Just as much as the mind warfare, I believe in that. I believe in physical warfare. I believe in all that. So when the spirits ain't right, I'm aware of all this shit because I'm versed in all 3 forms of battlefield. All 3 forms I'm versed in. So I didn't want that spirit to intercede into what we got going on because a lot of you guys was intertwined between me and my brother, Duro. And you guys didn't know, which was none of your business until I addressed it. It wasn't y'all's business. It was our business. Okay? So that's where I had to draw the line. Now, I apologize because I should still have faith in the fact that you guys who really fuck with me will not be infected by that. Whatever me and my brother was going through at that time, which is honestly nothing, but it is what it is. And it was what it was, and it's not. Okay. So I just want to let you guys know we good. Okay. This family shit. This how, this is family stuff. And hopefully you guys can learn, okay, how men deal with each other. Okay. And how men, all we have to do is, especially if you got their fucking phone number, gentlemen, call them. Be a diplomat, okay? Think about how these countries, these world countries, right? Even though they got funk, they all still meet up to talk. They always still meet up to talk about it. It's called diplomacy. Even though I can kill you, you can probably kill me. We are dignified enough to have a talk about it. Not because of how we feel about something, but because we got people we got to worry about. We got lives that we have to protect. So we can't be on our bravado and our macho man type of shit. No, we can't be. We got to at least be willing to come to the table to resolve any type of issues that we might have, which is very much easy to do. It's not really hard to do. It's just called compromise. In any type of negotiations, there is a level of compromise. Shout out to Donald Trump with his book called The Art of Negotiate. What is it? The Art of the Deal? He ain't capping about that. And as men, we should be able to, be civilized and let's talk about it. I know there's some things you feel strongly about. I know there's some things I feel strongly about. Let's get a happy medium. That's what real men do. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's what we did. So salute to you, Yellow One. Salute to you, Brother Duro. Salute to all of you, all my brothers, all of you guys, okay, for being involved in that energy and understanding and seeing how at the end of it all, resolution was the end result and it happened, okay? So glory to God and salute to all of you, okay? Now, let me talk about my dogs before we get everything kicked in. Now, I'm observing like I always do, and I'm looking at my Formula One Bulldogs, which none of you guys have seen yet, which I'm so glad that I just keep those, I like that anticipation. I love it. And I'm looking at Tiger Shark. I'm looking at all of them. They're all starting to blossom. But that boy, Tiger Shark, remember I told you I at least got one. I probably got two, but I know I for sure got one freak. Shout out to my breeding methods, my breeding methods. Okay, my schematics that I be teaching y'all. You know what I mean? My certain crosses. melovingvariants.com. Okay, I love that variance. I do. I'm not breeding show dogs. So anyway, I'm looking at Tiger Shark, man, and oh my God, oh man, I can't wait to show you that boy, man. Now, he's not perfect. There's not a dog that I see on my yard that I can say is perfect, okay? Now, even though I love fucking, even though I love Chopper the Man Stopper, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, man, I wish he was as big as your daddy. But he's perfect in everything else, though. Okay, sometimes in my schematics, it's like, being that I had that Neapolitan Mastiff, German Boxer, American Bulldog, Game Pit Bull in that genetic recipe. Okay, I was hoping that I would got at least the same size or bigger. However, I did have one. Okay, happened to pass away, unfortunately. You know what I mean? That was that Mastiff type of AK. He would have been that big. He probably would have been bigger than AK. Okay. But that wasn't in God's plan. But anyway, he would be the only one I would, in my spirit, like, ooh, yeah, he's perfect if he would have had at least been AK size. You know what I mean? But he's still a great fucking representation of what I wanted. But anyway, I'm looking at Tiger Shark, which is my Formula One Bulldog. And I'm looking at the boy's fucking height. I'm looking at his fucking shoulder spread. Just shoulder spread. And I'm seeing the straight legs, not the bulldog bow. He don't got the bulldog bow legs. He got the straight legs, but he got the super shoulder, the shoulder spread, which I know where that comes from. He got the shoulder spread with the straight legs. You know what I mean? He's long. You know what I mean? Like he's like an AK version of a bulldog. He's got fucking neck, like crazy ass neck already, and muscles and shit already. He got thick ass, big ass rears. The boy's a fucking maniac. Okay, running, jumping. Like he remind me of AK. Remind me of a real intense boy. Fucking want to get in all the shit. Want to, prey drive is. I'm just observing. Like I always tell y'all, just watch your animals. Let them be themselves. Now one thing I did notice that I can't be doing is overcorrecting them when he be pissing me off and fucking shit up. Because I'm hard on my dogs. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Because I am the alpha and I'm dealing with alpha dogs. And I see that he responds to me in a way where, it kind of, I feel his spirit like being uncertain when I correct him. You know what I mean? And I don't want to break his spirit. See, that's another thing you guys need to understand about your animals. Frames, brains, and motors. That brain needs to be developed. Now, because he loves me so much and he's still a hardhead, he's still an asshole. Okay, he still like to bite shit, but he loves me so much that if I correct him hard, he don't comprehend it, so he kind of cowers a little bit. And so I seen it. So I'm like, okay, I can't overcorrect him because I want to keep his assertiveness and his courage what it's supposed to be. And because he knows who I am, he's cowering because he doesn't want to, not please me. He's like wondering why. He just doing him, but he's wondering why. Like, why are you gonna do me like that, Daddy? Well, motherfucker, you doing something wrong. So I had to be aware of that because I don't want to destroy his mental. I don't want to fuck up his spirit. Okay, pay attention in class, you guys, as I debrief on my dogs. So anyway, this week I was looking at my boys, and I'm all of them is looking great, but I got one. I know I got one for sure. Ooh, I got one. Okay, I got one that's gonna blow people's minds when they see it. Like I said, he's not perfect in the way that I want him to be, but he's definitely a fucking wow factor dog already at 1 year old. Okay, so I can imagine when he turned 3. Okay, not only is he a wow factor in looks, but I mean the boy got it all in fucking athleticism. He's got it all in drive. He's very intense and fast. He got all the attributes naturally without me doing the development. Now, now I see what I got. I still got to develop it, make it better fine tune it. That's my job. But I'm seeing my lab notes blow my mind. So big salute to that. Okay, big salute to what I have. Big salute to all my hard work. It's all paid off, and I'm looking forward to the future, man. But other than that, let me get another drink. Let me get another drink. Big salute. Only the council, my brother in the building. Big salute to only the council. Nelly 83, big salute. Nelly. Now, you guys who are new, I debrief every live. This is how you get to know who the coach is, okay? I debrief. Got to tell you about what's going on in my world, in my week, okay, before we get into the classroom, all right? This is what I do, all right? So for that gentleman who like, oh, I can't get out with it, I mean, man, it is what it is, man. We're not holding you captive. You ain't got no handcuffs to the desk. You know what I mean? You're just not built for this shit. And we get it. You want to be entertained? This is not where you want to go to be entertained, man. This ain't no entertainment, bro. You know what I mean? There's some real shit over here. Inquisitive DeJean. My brother Inquisitive DeJean in the building. Big salute, big salute, big salute to my brother Inquisitive DeJean. Now, what I want to do, all right? I want to give a big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to my brother Verde Bulls, my young brother Verde Bulls, man. I remember my young brother Verde Bulls when I first introduced my store, and my brother Verde Bulls was like, Coach, man, I love that frames, brains, and motors, Coach, man. There's a lot of stuff I love, Coach, man. Hey, Coach, once I get it, woo, wop, wop. Once I get it, pop, pam, ping, pam, pow, it's gonna be all good. I'm gonna get that frames, but you know what I mean? He already, he told me what he was gonna get, now, like I said, I'm on that, I don't know if it's Blue Cantrell. I don't know. I'm going to find out who had that song. Heard it all before. You know what I mean? Heard it all before. Now, of course, I hear a lot of things that people say. I got people close to me, you know what I mean? Like people that's real close to me, which is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? People that I highly respect that, one thing that I do is I do what I say. You know what I'm saying? If I say it, you can guarantee it's going to happen. If I say it out my mouth, it's going to happen. I got brothers who I hold in high regard, tell me some things, and I ain't seen it happen. Which at the end of the day, I'm not going to remind you. That's not my job. You're supposed to automatically do what you say, right? So anyway, my young brother told me, hey, Coach, I'm going to do. I'm going to get, frame rated motors. Man, why did I see my young brother, spend over 150 in the stove? Got exactly what he said he was going to get out of the stove. So big salute to you, young brother, my brother Verde. I appreciate you, man, young man. I already told you this, but I'm saying it amongst the brothers. Young man, I appreciate you, man, being of your age and your wisdom. Not only that, you already walking on principle. You already walking on shit you say out your mouth. And then not only you saying it, you doing it. Bro, that's rare in today's time and today's day with the young men, not only the young men, but men my age, 47 plus. Motherfuckers love to tell you shit because it sound good. They love to sing you lullabies, rock your ass to sleep. They love to sing you love songs and shit. But at the end of the day, they not really in love with you. You know what I'm saying? So, man, oh, man. When I saw that, I instantly, fellas, brothers, I instantly went into my brother's DM, man, Verde's DM. I said, Verde, did you just order your frames, brains, and motor? He was like, yep, I sure did. So salute, Verde. I want to give you a shout out, young man. You know what I mean? For standing on what you say. You didn't have to say it and do it. I'm used to it. I'm not going to hold you to the cross and remind you. But you sure did remind me when I saw that in my motherfucking DM. Excuse me, not my DM, my email. So big salute. Now, what I want to do before I start this class off, before I share my link, I'm going to share my store so you guys can see I actually added some new products.com. Let's share my screen, shall we? And as far as this ticker goes, look at the ticker. Okay? It has my store information on it, okay? It says, please support the movement by purchasing my Formula One K9s gear at formula1k9sgear.printful.me. Again, at Formula One K9sgear.printful.me. Okay, support your boy. Ain't nobody fucking with my merch. I got the best merch in the dog game. Show me somebody's merch better than the coach's merch. I dare you. Show me it. None. Okay? There's a standard that I fucking possess, that I stand on in everything that I do. I do everything top tier, tip of the spear, from the dogs to my life, to my wife, to my house, to my clothes, to everything. To my fucking friends, to my brothers, whoever I got around me is going to be at the tip of the top of the spear, man. At the tip of the top of the spear, man. So check this out. I even did some new ones. I ain't even done. I got some more new ones to put, but just check it out, okay? Look at this stove. Hold on, man. Let me go here and let me go there and let me show you. All right, look, we got some new hats there, okay? I got more hats to put in there. We added the gray. We added the gray now because I got some gray gear now. I got to do the gray. I had to do the dark, which is the black. Then I can do the light, which is the gray. You know, to handle that color combinations, right? So we got the gray. Look at that. We got the full-fledged hats. We'll have all the hats, all the different type of emblem type hats. We'll have that in the gray for those of us who got the gray gear, okay? Because some of us might want to have the light gear, right? And some of us might want to have the dark gear, right? The light skin, the dark skin. Come on, man. We got to have the contrast. Look, we got some new frames, brains, and motors gear. This gear right here is hard. We got the zip up. Look, we got the zip up frames, brains, motors, FBM, IBM, no, FBM, frames, brains, and motors. Look what we got on the side. We got the Formula One K9s on the side of the sleeve. Formula One K9s on the side of the sleeve of the zip-up hoodie. Check out the front. We got the Formula One K9s on the chest, on the left side of the chest, on the zip-up premium hoodie. Yes, frames, brains, and motors. We got it in the black too. Come on, FBM. That's right. We got it on the side of the sleeve, Formula One K9s, and then we got it on the damn chest. Premium zip up. You know we got that. Look at that, man. We got the nice ass fucking t-shirt. The sweatshirts. We got the gray sweatshirts. Look at that shit. Look how premium that shit is, man. With the Formula One. Look at that Formula One K9s on the motherfucking tag right there on the tag where you could, you see how you should wash your, your shirt, your t-shirt, your sweatshirt, gives you the instructions, wash it in cold, do the dry, all that shit. Right there, you got it right there. Look, you got the Formula One. Look at how clean that shit is. Top tier professional that shit is. Hold on, man. Let me show you the back. Look, we got a little bitch wearing it, man. Salute to you. I got the little female. You look at the girls can wear it. Rock Solid got his woman a set. He got his woman a couple of pairs of shirts and t-shirts, whatever. He got her a couple of things. Look at that. Frames, brains, and FBM. Look at that shit, man. That shit is hard. Coach, man, how do you do them like that? Well, I got it. Everything I do is top tier. Everything I do is top tier. I got to have it top tier. Look, we got the black. Look at how clean the black is. Look at the black one, man. Come on, man. Look at the black one, man. Frames, brains, and motors, FBM. We got some new shit for y'all, man. Coach got to keep adding. I'm going to make y'all want to be like, damn, I got to get the whole collection, man. Coach keep adding new shit. Man, we got all the different versions. Okay? You know what I mean? We got the embroidery. Come on, man. We got the embroidered. Look at that shit, embroidered. That's why I say Cooper. Coop, tell your mom, hey, moms, Coach says, get me the embroidery so I can see it. You feel me? That's what you tell moms to do, Coop. Give me the embroidered ones. Man, I got the top tier embroidery, man. Ain't nobody fuck with me on the merch, man. Look, got the shirt, summertime coming up, springtime coming around. Come on, look at all this shit. Got the gray one for y'all. Y'all want the lighter ones? Y'all want the lighter shit, y'all don't want the black? Look at I got all this shit. Look at that, man. Come shop with me, man. Unleash the power with the grays. Come on, look at how the coach do it, man. A high performance working dog engineer t-shirt. Look how we do it with the hoodies, the grays. You know what I mean? I had to do the grays for y'all. Look at that high performance working dog engineer. Look how we do it. Got the oversized, you know what I'm saying? For those of us who want the heavier, the oversized, wanted to be kind of baggier. I got that shit for y'all too. Shop with me. Support your boy, man. Top tier. I don't care what kind of dog you got. This is the pinnacle of high performance working dogs. Whatever breed you got. It don't matter what kennel you got. It doesn't matter what your kennel name is. It doesn't matter what type of breed of dog you have. Man, Formula One canines is the pinnacle of high performance, man. We got the frames, brains, and motors. We got the frames, brains, and motors shirts. Come on, you guys. Come on, the coach did that shit, man. Look, the frames, brains, and motors. Look at that, man. Look how clean that shit is. High performance canine engineering. Frames, brains, motors, Formula One canines. Come on, coach. Come on, shop with me, y'all. Support your boy, man. Top tier gear, man. Top tier. Pick your size. Pick your style. Pick your color combination. You know what I'm saying? You know we got to have an AK. You know we got to have AK in the building. AK got to have his own shitta. You know, AK got to have his own collection. I mean, the legend got to have his own collection. He is a legend, living, not dead. He got to have his own collection, right? Of course he does. Come on, man. Scroll through the store, y'all. I just want to show you real quick. I added some new gear. I got a lot of shit. Formula One K9s with the S, gear.printful.me. We'll get you straight to the store. Look, got DNA. We do. Come on, man. How you want it fitted? How do you want it? How does it feel, man? Come on, we got it all. Just scroll through it, okay? Now watch this. Look at the hats. I'm gonna have all the gray ones pretty soon, but look at the hats, man. We got all the hats, man. All the different styles. We got the different types, all embroidery. Like I told y'all, we're going to do the embroidery, okay? Look at that shit right there with the Formula One canines on the side. Like the new era. You know how they got the new era on the side? We got the Formula One canines on the side with the big dog head. Of course we got to have them like that, man. Of course we got to have so many variations because you know how much the coach love all his DNA. You know how much the coach love his variances. You know how the coach don't like to be genetically bottlenecked. You know that. So, of course, you know what my clothing line, you know I'm not going to be bottlenecked in my clothing line. Oh, my God, coach, do you practice what you teach in the X's and O's? Yes, I do. Don't you show them what you practice? Don't you show them what you say? Yes, I do. I do it each and every fucking time because I'm consistent. That's right. I'm consistent in what I do. Look at that one. Oh, my God. We got the coach. Hey, the coach is y'all, man. Technical director. That's the one. That's the head engineer. That's y'all, man. Motherfuckers like, oh, technical. They'll ask you like, hey, man, what's that? Oh, the technical director, man. The coach. Who's that? You be like, that's me. You don't say that's the coach. You say that's me. I'm the technical director of my high performance working dog program. Oh, for sure. And if they watch and they study Formula One racing, they know who the technical director is. They already know. If they fans of Formula One racing and they see that, they already know who the fuck you is. You feel me? That's right. Look at the dog head in the back. In the back, that dog embroidery. The coach, only the coach hat get the full, all the emblems it gets on the coach hat. The dog head, like the Corvette, but we got the dog head looking like the Corvette symbol. Man, that's the coach. It's called the vision. You gotta be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Formula One K9's embroidery, and then we got technical director, the coach. That's y'all. That's y'all. It's not just me. Come on, man. Shout out to Reddy. I think he got the coach's hoodie. Shout out to Reddy because he got the coach's hoodie. Look, we got frames, brains, and motors. Look at that. We got the frames. Look, embroidery. You know, frames, brains, and motors. That's our philosophy to build the complete fucking high performance working dog. You got to build them on the frames, brains, and motors concept. You got to build a complete dog, not an incomplete dog, not a lopsided dog, not a one way or the other way, a complete dog. That's called a frames, brains, and motors dog. That's right. If you represent that, you're going to have that frames, brains, and motors hat. Look, we got that Formula One on the side like the new era. That's right. Come on, Coach, top tier, man. Ain't nobody's merch like the coaches. Show me, show me, show me. I know once they see my shit, they're gonna get in their bag. But you know what? They shit is based off of their kennel name. My shit is based off of fucking a philosophy called Formula One Canines. Woo, Coach, you so damn smart. I know I'm smart. I know I think ahead, 12 steps ahead. I know it's a thinking man's game in this world. Come on, man. I can make so much different. I can make so much merch, so much different variants in my merch. Formula One Canines. So, oh my God. Oh, it's never ending for my merch. Never ending for my merch. It's damn near a fucking clothing line. It's a damn near a clothing line. Man, I got so many ideas. Wait till I be able to get that camel play. Ooh, I want to do a camouflage edition. Ooh, wait till I get that camouflage shit going. Because you know how I feel about the military, y'all. You know how I feel about the elite level of military, y'all. I'm really structured. I believe in that military. I believe in that army. I'm in the God's army. I believe in that army. So wait till I got ideas for my camouflage edition. Wait till you see when I cook that shit up. Ooh, you know that. But anyway, I just want to show you that. Man, please support your boy. I appreciate all of you guys who have supported me. You guys will get something in return for your investment. Okay, I'm not just asking for donations. All I'm asking you to do is patronize my store. All right? Support my store and you'll get fucking worthy premium type merch. And then at the end of the day, you support me. And at the end of the day, you get something back in return. Okay? And I'm going to keep having more and more shit to make you be like, damn it, I got to save my bread because Coach got more shit in the damn stove. Coach, stop putting those variances in your stove. Look at that FBM shot. That shit is so hard. This shit's hard. Coach, come on, Coach. Why you had to do them with the FBM, Coach? Why you had to do them with that one, Coach? That shit is hard as a motherfucker, Coach. Why you got to make me go buy some more shit, Coach? Because I need your support, Ty. I need your support, Ty. I need your support. But let me digress this screen. I appreciate y'all. Let me digress this screen. Let me digress the screen. All right, let me put myself back on the screen, like this. And let me go ahead and drop this link for those of you who are qualified so we can cook in this classroom tonight. That's right. I appreciate you guys' patience. I appreciate you guys allowing me to show you my store. I really would appreciate if you would patronize it. That'll be really special for me. Facts. And salute to all of you who have. I'm very grateful and thankful. I am. Okay? So thank you, my brothers. You know what I mean? Hopefully you enjoy your products. And guess what? Like I said, I'm only getting better at it. Okay? The more you practice, the more you get better. Like we say about these dogs, we practicing dogs. Like doctors practice medicine. The more you fucking do, the more you get better. Okay? So here's the link in the chat. If you qualify, hit the link. Hit the link, hit the link, hit the link if you qualify. Ooh, that drink feels good. You know what I mean? Big salute to you. Bill in the building. My brother Blue Line Terriers is in the building. Who else we got up in here, man? I missed. I missed. Who else we got in here? Okay. Okay, that's it. I got everybody. Hit that link if you qualified. Let's cook tonight. We got a good one tonight, man. You know what I mean? You guys always heard the coach speak about this thing. TESD in the building. Big salute to you, TESD, my brother. Big salute to you, TESD.
Salute, coach.
Salute.
Yeah.
Ready? Hey,
salute, Verde.
Salute, Verde.
My fault. My phone took a little bit I was able to hear y'all, but y'all couldn't hear me. But salute to the chat. Salute Ready. Salute Caveman. Salute Coach.
Word, salute to the chat.
Yep, salute to the chat. So hey,
you boys.
Hey. What's up? What's up with you, Caveman? Salute, Caveman.
Word, salute,
What's up, fellas?
All right.
Yeah. Hey, what did you think? Hey, I know, Reddy. I don't know, Verdi. I don't know if you've seen it, but did you get to see the additions I added? Reddy?
Yeah, I just seen them.
Damn.
Yeah, I like them gray joints,
I
man.
know. I had to do the gray additions. I had to do the gray ones, Reddy. I had to do it.
Yeah, I might have to cop something off of that. And then
Reddy, hey,
and then some of them hats, I might have to get some of those. And then the camo, I'm definitely on that.
I know, bro, I can't wait till I can do it the way I want to do it. The camo edition. Ooh, we already did the designs, so I just got to
Okay,
figure out how I can do it.
that's fire.
I got to figure out how I'm gonna do it, man. All right, so Coop, what did Coop say? Coop asked me. He said, "Hey, Coach, how much do you need to own?" Okay, I don't know. All right, so okay, understand. Our brother Coop is using probably using some like special. All right, so I'm trying to decipher what you're trying to say, Coop. He said, "How much acreage do you need to own a hat? How many dots you need for your program? Just want to know."
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay. Well, it just depends on. Okay, so Coop, for anybody who's starting out a program, you need to write your schematics out first, as far as like what you want to do with your program, like your vision for your program, and then what dogs you need to have to make your vision of your program to be a reality. You know what I mean? So you need to write that out. But at the same time, I always say, keep it simple. Start out with a female. Buy you a female first, and then pay for the stud fee. Now, if you got money, no, fuck that. Get you a female. Just for everybody, get you a female, a top tier female if you can. And then go do your research on studs that are prepotent that you can take to your female. And then once you take that stud to your female, you keep the whole litter. You keep just like this. Hey, just like this.
Bingo.
Bingo. That's what all of you do. That's how you guys get in the game with the least amount of money. That's how you do it. Okay. I would say have about $10,000. $5,000 for your female, $5,000 for your stud. Bingo. And then once you do that breeding, you keep the whole fucking litter and you're in the game. That's how we do it. That's how you do it. Okay. Make sure it's an outcross though. Make sure you get a female and a male that are not related so that you can get hybrid vigor. Come on, man. Shout out to the classroom. So salute to you, Coop. Hopefully I answered your question, Coop. But man, you guys ready for this one?
Yep.
The full litter selection. Why keeping the entire litter matters in competition breeding. Okay. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? I'm chatting. Hopefully you guys are ready, because you've heard us talk about this. And I want all of you to pay attention to why we talk about it in this classroom. Because what we're creating is high performance dogs, which is the highest level of breeding that you could ever do. Because you have to make a complete dog, frames, brains, and motors. We're just not making phenotypes. We're just not making genotypes. We're making a complete dog. Functional, though. Functional. They have to be functional. But this is the hardest thing to do as an engineer. That's who we are. We're not breeders here. We're engineers. We're high-performance working dog, men and women engineers. So we take this shit very seriously, and we have to think about it in a complete way. So with this topic, when you're dealing with premium genetics, which I hope that's what we are all dealing with, top tier genetics, and you're breeding them together, we're not throwing none of our data out in the trash. Does that make sense? We're not throwing no data from those productions in the trash until we test them. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, chat. Hopefully y'all paying attention. All right, so what I want to do, fellas, is I want to allow you guys, Verta, if you want to come in and chime, you can do it. Caveman, ready. I want you guys to come in just like I did last week. Put y'all little spin on it. Whatever you guys want to add, speak on it, your perspective, everything. I want us to talk about this because this is very important for people to understand and I want you guys to comprehend this class tonight. Okay, not just listen. I want you to comprehend this class tonight. All right. So, K-Man, if you like, I would love for you or Ready, whoever wants to come first and break their, information down. Be my guest, please. Oh shit, we got Kia. Damn it, shit. You said Kia or shout out from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Big salute, man. We got somebody from New Zealand in the building. Big
Salute.
Yeah, big salute salute New Zealand in the building, just like we got the Bakari from Canada in the building. You know what I mean? I think 416 K9s, he's from Canada too. You know what I mean? But big salute to you. Hopefully you enjoy this classroom and hopefully we see you again. All right, big salute. All right, go ahead, fellas.
You could go ahead first, Caveman.
All right. Well, I mean, basically, your pups all have different genetics from each other, and they have hidden genetics you can't see. You're not going to know how they all perform until they're old enough to be tested. And you're not going to know who's a proven breeder until you bred them. So if you pass some dogs off to somebody else, you don't. There goes your breeding project.
Yeah.
Your progress, I should say.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, just like that. You don't know what you have, especially and like I said, this class is taking elite to elite. What I mean by that is elite producer to elite producer, not just performer. We're dealing with prepotent producers. Okay, this is this topic on prepotent producers. Okay, but go ahead. Ready?
All right, so I got keeping whole litters, frames, brains, and motors. Reasons to keep. One, keep all my F1s to preserve quality and traits of performance. Also, when I create a line, I can always backstep and select a different variant within my F1s and pick another fresh genetic pool of diversity for said line direction. If I had felt I messed up, I always have a new deck of cards to gamble with and stack my odds. That's one. And you want to be able to test the performance and functionalities of each puppy and test all health issues they may experience if by chance it happens, so you can properly breed the right healthy dogs for the next generation. Tests for disposition on each puppy separately as well as in a pack structure to see their capabilities and undesirables. Especially if it's your first time breeding, you don't want to give or sell your best dogs you may produce by chance. That can make or break you in the end. Also, you're going to need to have the means to facilitate, house, feed, and pay for medical and have property to even do this properly. LLC when you're ready to start selling to public and go live with your productions. And also, even your weakest looking pup that ignores siblings and gets beat up or curves out, what they say. You got to remember all pups develop and mature faster or slower than others. Got to give them all time to develop correctly and soundly. Hopefully, weakest pup or pups not showing the signs you were looking for pops out. Also, since they all share same genetics, the weaker one maybe might be your top producer out of all those dogs you were cheering about, thinking they were the best and can't produce nothing. That's what I am.
No, no, that's good. That's great actually. You know what I mean? That's a complete summary of like how you got to analyze it, how you got to assess it, how you got to test it, all that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, salute to you on that. What you got anything to add to that, Verde? Do you want to add anything before we get into the to the meat and potatoes?
Yeah, I was gonna say Birdie Reddy hit it on the head with that one. Um, Definitely the brain development, for the frame, the brains and motors. You wanna definitely check it out, make sure that the litter is producing the output that you are looking for, which like Reddy say, you can see different outputs from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, from 4 weeks to 8 weeks, from 8 weeks to 6 months, to 6 months to a year old. So you just want to take your time and be patient with your selection and make sure you're selecting the right ones. And that goes back to say, like, if you can, try to keep the whole litter. And if not, rehome them to people that's close to you where you know that you could go back and put your hands on that dog. Trustable, worthy people, Once again, you don't want to crash out your program and throw it away by doing the simple thing as selling the dog and not knowing the true potential in that puppy.
Facts.
Facts.
Facts. Yeah. All that. All that. Yeah. This is something that I learned by default. See, I wasn't taught this. I fell into this reality because I had some old dogs that was a part of my pit bull line. And they were older. They were like 9, they're old, 9, 10. And I told myself I was going to breed them one more time because, in the beginning I sold all my shit. I kept like one. I kept one male. And then he died, man. When I first moved out to the hill, out to this wilderness, I think he got bit by a spider, man. I don't know what the fuck got his ass, man. But one day, man, I came out there and that motherfucker was stiff in his damn kennel. I was like, what the fuck happened? And I checked around and he had like some kind of bump. So I think some spider got his ass. I don't know, man. That shit was fucked me up. But anyway, when that happened, I'm like, damn, I ain't got no DNA left. That's what I was saying to myself. And I sold every time I bred, I bred them 2 times, and I sold them all because I had a huge demand within my own circle. All my partners wanted them dogs, so I sold them all. I only kept me one. So when I didn't have him, I'm like, shit, I gotta do this again. So being that they were older, my male and my female, they were older. I'm like, I'm gonna breed them again, and then I'm gonna keep them all. And so I had a nice size litter. Thank God. Shout out my girl Buffy, rest in peace. The silent assassin. She gave me a nice size litter, and I sent one to my cousin, and I sent one to one of my closest friends because they wanted one. But I kept everything else. I kept everyone. That's the litter of Shaka, Jaws, Holy Spirit, Africa, Tiny. That's that litter. I kept them all. Okay. Now, because of that reality, for me, right, when I did my band dog breeding, and I've only had 3 straws off a Red Bull, and that was my first band dog breeding, and I had already kept that whole litter off my pit bull breeding for the most part. Okay, I kept them because I can use any of my cousin had one, I can use his if I needed that, and my partner, my close partner, I can use it. So all that shit was mine, period. If I wanted to use it, breed it. But anyway, so because I kept my pit bull litter, I said, there's nobody that's going to get this band dog litter, because I knew how hard it was for me to get Joe, who is, pretty much the head of Buff Dogs. He's the husband, he's the man, he's the one of, Joe Peacemaker. He didn't even want to sell me Red Bull straws. I had to finesse him with a package deal, which was a lot of money. Okay, because I wanted the DNA that bad. So anyway, I knew, I was like, I can't sell my fucking foundation band dogs to nobody. So I kept that whole litter. And I blessed my cousin with one, because he was trying to get in dogs. And I was like, okay, I can always get to it. Here you go. Boom. So I plugged him with my DNA. You know what I mean? That's what that's what you do when you want to take care of people. Okay. That didn't go nowhere, but that's another story. But anyway, my point I'm making to you guys is I bumped my head on it because of a situation where I had to. It's not a situation where I knew better. Okay. It's a situation because I had to, and I wanted to protect the DNA. Okay. I had one situation where I lost one on some fucking humbug shit, a spider bite, whatever. I'm like, oh shit, my male and female's old as fuck. Let me cross my finger, and then I got a litter. Thank the Lord. Okay. So I'm keeping all this shit. So what that taught me, which we're going to get into this class, is that even though I wasn't attracted to each one of them dogs, I was attracted to certain attributes from those dogs, but I wasn't fully attracted to them, where I would make that my pick and you would be the one I wanted. You would be the one I envisioned and the one I wanted. Okay. I wasn't fully attracted to each one of those. I was attracted to their characteristics individually, but not fully, if that makes sense. You guys get what I'm saying with that? Not fully?
Yep.
Okay. Now, with this topic tonight, I'm going to show you guys why, by me learning by default that keeping the whole litter when you got top tier genetics is the only way you're going to know if you can produce better dogs. That's the only way you're going to know, especially when you're dealing with top tier genetics. So, you guys ready to use Miss ChatGPT, or you guys got anything more to say before we kick her in the gear?
No, let her rip.
Okay. You good, ready? You good, Verde?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let me do this.
I'm ready for this one.
All right, let me do this. Y'all, hey, chat, take notes in class. I always tell you guys, take notes. Always hit the replay. Hit the replay. I'm going to put everything on the screen. Okay, hit the replay. Read it yourself. Assess it yourself. Put it in your realm of reality. Practice it. Again, we're like doctors over here. We're engineers, but we're like doctors. Every theory we teach, we practice. So hopefully you have a program where you can practice these theories and these lessons that we teach in this top tier high performance working dog engineer class. This is an engineer's class. This is not a breeder's class. We are the creators. We are the fixers. We are the advancers of these type dogs. Okay. That's what we are. So please pay attention to class. Please take your notes. Please assess your own program. Please apply these theories to your program so that you can know for yourself if you got great DNA, great genetics, if they're passing on or not. Please. Okay. That's why we do this. All right. So hold on. Let me do this. Let me remove. Let me see. Stop screen. Okay, cool. And then we're going to share screen. Okay, cool. And then we're going to go to our assistant coach. We're going to add her to the screen. All right. Boom. Okay. Let's go ahead and make her big. Bow. Now, my brother, ready. You already know what time it is. Let me give the disclaimer to all of you. Understand, I am your coach. When it comes to this type of classroom, I'm your coach. Okay, if you guys ever had a coach in real life, I am not your professor. Normally your coach is probably your PE teacher, okay? I'm your coach. I'm just coaching dogs. This is not, ladies and gentlemen, a class where you're going to get it properly pronounced and properly taught to you. I'm going to narrate. I narrate pretty good, but I got my brothers who will correct me if I mispronounce a word. Don't hold me accountable to that. Okay, please pay attention to class. I got everything on the screen for you to read for yourself, but I will make sure to clarify everything that I narrate so that you guys can understand. But understand what I'm doing is I'm teaching you guys X's and O's. This is just an outline, okay? Over the time that we've been using AI, she has learned, based off of my programming, how to format our class. That's all she does for us. She formats our class. We hit the formats, the key points, and then we elaborate as engineers. We use our mind, we use our creativity, and we elaborate on these key points. So follow along as we elaborate, as I narrate, and you already know, you know what I mean, Brother Reddy, if I mispronounce, you know what I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, all right? And if you see something in the chat that I need to, you know, look at, because I can't read and look at the chat at the same time, you got me, right?
Gotcha.
All right, cool. All right, here we go. Why keeping an entire litter from elite competition dogs matter? Now, look, I would hope that you guys understand how valuable your genetics are to what you're trying to produce. It's like ingredients for a recipe of food that you're trying to cook. You got to have the best ingredients to create the best meal. That's the same thing that is required with these dogs. Okay. Now, those ingredients, for us, we understand that those ingredients needs to be prepotent dogs. A prepotent dog doesn't necessarily mean a heavily line-bred dog. A prepotent dog doesn't necessarily mean two top-tier performers bred together, and that's an elite dog. That's an elite producer. That doesn't mean that. Okay, an elite dog, an elite producer is a dog that is prepotent, whether scatterbred, heavily inbred, heavily line-bred. They just have to pass on their genetic characteristics, their desirable genetic characteristics. You guys get that?
Yep.
All right. Okay, cool. I just want to clarify that because, see, like I said, theories are there for a reason, but when you are an engineer or a scientist, you test theories. Okay, you just use theories and then you test them, right? So please pay attention in class. As I'm speaking, please put your microphones on mute. All right, here we go. When you breed two truly elite competition dogs, you're not just making puppies. You're running a genetic experiment. And if you sell most of the data, you cripple your own program. All right, that makes sense. Let me read that one more time. When you breed two truly elite competition dogs, which is truly elite prepotent competition dogs, you're not just making puppies. You're running a genetic experiment. And if you sell most of the data, you cripple your own program. Number one, you can't judge a breeding off of one puppy. A single standout pup proves nothing. You need to see consistency of structure, frames, nerve strength, and cognition. Sorry, cognition.
Yes,
brain,
cognition.
Okay, brains, drive, power, recovery, durability, motors. If you only keep one or two pups, you're guessing. If you keep the whole litter, you see the genetic ceiling, the genetic floor, the average, the variation spread. That tells you what the cross truly produced. You guys get number one now. I want you guys also to elaborate on number one. In the chat, you guys can do the same. Okay, you guys get number one. You can't judge a breeding off of one puppy.
Yep.
Elaborate.
The pups, one puppy doesn't show you all the traits as you would get from as well as all the genetics as you would get from a whole litter. That's gonna show you spread out the different traits. Some might get most of the traits you're looking for.
Right.
Where,
From the
where,
parents, though, right? You're not
yes,
able to see. Yes, yes,
yes,
correct.
and while the others might get half and split to maybe like 2 or 1.
Did somebody
That
fall off?
that'll be like the last, like I guess the last puppy might have like 1 or 2 traits.
Right, right. Exactly, exactly. Like, so pretty much what you're saying is like, okay, if we know, like I said, prepotent parents, you guys, engineers, prepotent. That means our genetic lottery, we're guessing still, but we're taking educated guesses playing the genetic lottery. So knowing based off of our prepotent parents what they've produced in their offspring, you can assess each puppy and understand which ones got what from each parent. That's kind of what you're saying, right?
Yep. But then the downside or upside, as in like what Caveman was talking about last week with the true F1, where they all gonna be the same no matter what. They all gonna have all the same amount of traits and genetics throughout all the whole litter.
Now hold on. I gotta say something. Now with the F1 is a total scrambled egg. So one thing about the F1, ain't none of them gonna have the same nothing. I mean,
That's a misconception.
what are you talking
Unless,
about?
okay, if your F1 is a polyhybrid, you're right.
What is explain everything you're gonna explain, because that's the only way I see a F1 as a scrambled egg. But go ahead and tell me. Go ahead,
No,
break it down for us.
no, your F2 is a scrambled egg. So if your F1, if the parents are already mixed and not a tight inbred line, yeah, your F1s will have diversity.
Oh, I see.
Because
Okay. Hold on. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm talking about the F1's offspring. So that is the F2. The F1 breeding. What you're saying is the F1 breeding is whatever it is, right? And then the F2s that come off that F1 breeding will be the scrambled egg.
right, yeah.
Okay. That's what I meant. Okay, that's what I meant, K-Man. So we on the same page. You guys get what K-Man said? I understand you now, K-Man. Thank you for clarifying
Yeah.
that. Okay, so you're right. So the F2 is a scrambled egg once you breed the F1. But you know what? How I always perceive it. I always perceive when you do that breeding, those are F1s. That's how I see it. I see it when you take those two different whatever it is and them parents and you breed those productions to me are F1 productions. That's how I see it.
Your first breeding is an F1, but
Right.
it
So those
may,
productions, hold on, okay, man. So those productions are F1s.
your very first mating, right? It stands for filial generation number 1.
So those are scrambled eggs.
No, well, not if both parents are purebred.
But hold on. If they come from two different sides of a spectrum and they're different, and we just learned that with what would we call that? What meiosis? We just learned that from the reshuffling. So if they come from a whole different spectrum of a field of genetics, and we recombinate that genetic by mixing them, that's scrambled eggs.
Yes, but that doesn't happen till F2, because in the F1, when they recombine in each parent, they're swapping the same traits. You know what I mean? Because they're inbred, they're a pure species, so they don't have that diversity in them to begin with. So if both of your parents are pure inbred like that, or a pure species, and you breed them with another pure, there's only 2 possibilities of traits that they can have. Okay. And one of those traits is usually a dominant over the other one. So they're only going to, all of them are only going to express that one trait unless you're dealing with something that's a co-dominant. So the pups will, or whatever you're breeding, the F1 will express all the dominant traits from both parents. Now they carry the recessive traits, you know what I mean? So, and when they recombine, even if there is no recessive traits, when they recombine, that's when in the F2, that's when traits from one species get shuffled with another and get split up to where there's not, you'll basically have 4 different combinations of what you're getting out of that F2.
Yeah, I'm confused now, but we're
Yeah,
getting ahead of
that's
ourselves.
why I want to get my dry erase board back.
Yeah. I'm confused, but we'll get to that because I even have a second segment to this, which talks about the F1 and the F2 breakdown. So, yeah, I'm confused on that one because I automatically think your F1 is automatic going to be a scrambled egg. You know, I mean, you're taking two, and that's meiosis.com. You know, off the top, that's a whole. You got 2 different breeds, or you got 2 different families. Ain't nothing related, and you get that genetic explosion. That, I mean, how could that? Like that is, you don't know nothing.
You're right, but what you're not understanding is that does not happen until you breed to F1s. Because when, like I'm saying, during meiosis and the shuffling, there is no shuffling of unlike traits in that first generation of offspring. That shuffling happens in the parents. You know, not when
man, how do you get hybrid vigor at its maximum level if there's no shuffling? I don't get that. How do you make better?
Because of all the dominant traits canceling out the recessive traits in the F1. When the shuffling happens in the parents when they're making the sex chromosome, it does not happen when the sperm and the egg meet. So there's only, the dad, let's say a lion and a tiger. Mm-hmm. The dad, when the lion male, when he makes his sperm cell, he does not shuffle tiger genes into it. He only has lion genes. So those cubs are only going to have lion genes and tiger genes, and the dominant gene is going to cancel out the recessive or the weaker gene of the other species. And they're all going to be the same, but they're going to be carrying 2 different traits on each allele. So when you breed them, they're going to give one allele to one offspring and one allele to the other. So then your offspring's not the same. That's when the shuffling takes effect.
Okay.
But I mean, if let's say you're crossing 2 dogs and calling it your F1, and those dogs, have a diversity in them already, then your F1s won't all be the same. Like if you breed a boxer bulldog to a Rottweiler Great Dane, and that's your F1, it's not really, it's an F1 because it's the first generation of your filial generation.
Right.
It's not a true hybrid.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, that's what I was meaning.
We'll have to dive into that one too. You know, I mean, that's another subject matter. So, okay, man, think about that topic and let me dig into that because now I need to learn something too. Because
we need illustration.
That's going deeper into the meiosis. The meiosis. Yep. The phases.
I don't know. I need a dry erase board to draw this all out, to show a diagram of how it works. But.
Okay. All right. So let's carry on, fellas. So, okay, man, keep that topic. That's a good topic that we need to cook on too. So I can get an understanding of what you mean and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because automatically, I think when you take something different and you bring them together, that's scrambled. That's my finite mind thinks that. So if we can clarify that for us to understand, that's something that us as engineers need to break down. So Yeah, think about that, K-Man, so you can give me a topic so we can cook on that. You know what I'm saying? If you can. That'd be awesome. All right, so let's go to number 2. Genetic expression is a spectrum, not a clone. Even from 2 elite dogs, offspring will vary. Why? Because inheritance is a recombination event. Each pup gets a different mix. Think about elite thoroughbreds. Look at the bloodlines of Secretariat. Not all his offspring were him. Some were solid, some were average, a few were exceptional. That's variance. Same thing in elite competition dogs. If you only evaluate one pup, you're evaluating variance, not genetic truth. How do you guys feel about number 2? Okay. Genetic expression is a spectrum, not a clone. Anything you can add?
Yeah, nothing's the same.
So that would go into the scrambled eggs that I think of.
Yeah. But it's 2 ways of that. That's all.
Well, genetic expression is a spectrum. Okay. Meiosis is always a reshuffling of the genes. That's what we learn.
Yeah.
Every breeding is a complete reshuffling of the deck. Every time.
I think that one was just like meiosis 1. We ain't get into meiosis 2.
But I'm gonna tell you this. That's why I said we
Yeah,
look at class.
listen,
That's why I want K-Man to put
if
that.
you have a dog, if you have a dog that carries the color red for its coat color for both copies, right? When that dog makes its sperm cell in the chromosomes reshuffle, that dog's still going to have red, and that's what it's going to give its puppies. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the F1.
But K-Man, that's red on top of red. That's red on. But we're not breeding that.
Okay, we're gonna breed it to a yellow dog. What color the pup's gonna be?
It's not gonna be all red.
What happens when you mix red and yellow?
It's not
Red
gonna
and
be
yellow.
all red. It's not gonna be a whole red.
They're gonna be all orange. They're gonna be all orange.
You would get some red in that,
But
K-Man.
You
Come on, K-Man. You done did enough. Like I said, I gotta challenge you. I gotta challenge all of us. You done did enough litters where you done seen all kind of shit that baffled you. Okay. That's my point about that meiosis. That's why I love that class that we did. Please watch that class that we did on meiosis. Shout out to you, K-Man, because that reshuffling of the deck is true. I've seen. I'm just saying. I've just seen where I've taken the same parents and bred them 3 times and got all kind of variances. I'm just letting you know that right now. So
I'm not disputing that at all. What I'm saying is you're not going to see any diversity until you take those orange pups, the F1s, and breed those. That's when you'll come out with red pups, orange pups, and yellow pups.
So you're telling me that if I take a red and a yellow, I'm not going to get fucking some red, some yellow, some orange? I don't believe that.
No, that's the F2 that's going to happen then.
Well, I don't believe that, K-Man, because I done did breedings where I've taken a dog that's black and I've taken a dog that's fucking blue and I got some fucking chocolates. I got a fucking black. I got a blue. What are you talking about?
Because those dogs were not pure.
K-Man, but what's pure? What is pure? A dog that's only got one that's so pure. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What is pure? A dog that just only is what it is, and that's it. There's very few dogs that's that, unless you breed, let's say, like you're talking about like Dobermans. So you're taking a Doberman that has fucking the tan, the black and tan, and the cinnamon. That's all that's in that Doberman. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're talking about. You should know if that dog is.
You're not talking about true F1 hybrids. If you're not talking about pure genes bred to pure genes. When you take diversity and breed it to diversity, that's not a hybrid.
So then what do we call that?
That's composite. That's,
Okay,
you're getting into
composite.
F2 and beyond.
So then that's composites.
Or even if it's not a composite, you got to go into the F2, or you got to start. Most of us are starting with an F6 or X20, F20.
We're starting with
Yeah,
composites.
we're not starting with the actual pure.
Correct. Okay, I get it now, K-Man. I get it. That makes sense, K-Man.
But yeah, we'll look it all up, and Chat GPT can convince you.
No. K-Man, this is why you think I'm asking you this question? Because I want you to elaborate so that we all can understand. That's what's important about our classroom, right? If I don't ask you questions, then you won't elaborate, and then I won't get an understanding, and then maybe some other people won't get an understanding, right? So that's why I always make you elaborate, because I want to understand where you're coming from. But like I said, we're gonna do a class on this too. But anyway, I get it, K-Man. I get it. I understand it now. Okay. But this is why this classroom is important, because this is the supercomputer. Because I don't want to take what you know, K-Man, and suppress it. And you guys in the chat, I want us to all, so that we get a comprehension. Because I don't know every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not breeding a dog that's fucking heavily inbred one way, to where, like you said, it's pure. It's pure just one way. So whatever that dog is in that dog, phenotypically, because the spirit is another thing too, but phenotypically, I'm gonna get that. So if it's black and tan all the way through, black and tan, I'm gonna get black and tan. There ain't nothing else in there. So I get it, K-Man. Salute, K-Man. But
You
please,
see what 416 K9 put?
let me see, because I can't see. So let me see. He says F1 is 50-50 lab huskies, so all pups are exactly 50-50. F2 pup could be 25-75, 50-50, 75-25 of the original breeds. Yep. Okay. Let me see what else we got. I know Chris over there cooking like a motherfucker. What'd you say, Chris? Chris said pure is when the families are heavily inbred. Okay, Chris. I get that. Tyapis says every dog breed starts with multiple different breeds to create what its final form is, and it is whatever you want to make it for its final form to be. The pure breed is a barrier. That's true too. But like I said, I understand where you're coming from, K-Man. I get it. I understand it, because again, if you're taking a dog that's one way and a dog that's another way, like K-Man said, that's a pure hybrid. Okay, that's a pure hybrid. So then you get, you know what you're gonna get to the most part on this end, and you know what you're gonna get on that end, and then you should get 50-50 between the fan or the two, and then however it shuffles. So I get that, but we're gonna cook on that. We're gonna go deeper in that one, because I'm sure there's some nuances there that's gonna fucking open up our mind too as well, because they do that in the horses and they don't get what they want in them horses. So let's keep it going. Number 3, you identify prepotency versus one-off greatness. Number 3, you identify prepotency versus one-off greatness. Prepotency equals the ability to reproduce traits consistently. You can't see that from a single keeper. Keeping the whole litter lets you evaluate. Are the traits uniform? Does the drive show up across males and females? Is nerve stable across environmental stress? Does structure replicate? If 6 out of 8 pups show the same elite traits, now you're looking at a prepotent cross. If 1 out of 8 is elite, that may be luck. Big difference. You guys get number 3. You identify prepotency versus one-off greatness.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it.
You think you want to elaborate on that? Like what you want to see in that prepotency? What, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I wanted to look exactly like the dad that's built up, that was willing to go the extra mile to death, put in that more work, extra work, and blood, sweat, and tears shit.
what about the mom though?
And the mom's gonna be there too. She gonna have full everything. It's gonna be excelled with her too.
Okay.
But she might, she can't be all. I don't know. I might have like a. The dad might be elite, and the mom might be half elite. Because I want the pups to be balanced
Okay. Now watch this.
and clean.
Now watch this. Now, remember, every dog that you have is a genetic part because no dog is perfect. So
Right.
dog might be elite in one area, like the sire might be elite in one area, and the mom might be an elite in other. They need to be both elite in different areas to create balance. If that makes sense. Okay. So think of it like that. Your female has to be just as elite in her genetic makeup as the sire. And the female has to be prepotent, just like the sire, so that you know this female passes on these traits in her puppies. I've seen it, multiple puppies, it's consistent. This male pass on these traits in his puppies. I've seen it, it has to be consistent. So you need to assess, or we need to assess male and female, put them under the same microscope, but for different reasons, because like you said, we're trying to create the balance, which we learned is the synergy. We're trying to create the synergy in the breeding. Okay, we don't want same and the same. Okay, so what you're saying is correct, but we can't forget about the female. However, it, like I said, one lacks, we make up in the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we always got to think of that, but they need to be elite in their performance abilities. If they can't perform it, they need to be elite in their producing abilities of those traits. Okay, which is very important for us to understand. That's why you got to identify prepotency. Got to identify it. And it needs to be coming from the male and female. You know, like I said, if I'm breeding AK to Coco, I already know what AK brings to the table because I bred him. I don't know what Coco's going to bring, but I know who Coco is. I know who her father is, her mother is. As far as what that breeder promotes and posts and their accolades, you know, whatever they won in their little, you know, sport. So I can base my assessment on Coco when I breed her to AK. Like, okay, well, shit, based off of your parents, I'm not doing those training with you. I know you can do it. You're a very smart ass dog, super athletic. So I know you can do all that shit if I trained you. But based off of what her parents can do, I can assess what Coco brings to those puppies that AK don't have, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you guys want to add? Caveman?
Now, I'm going to say that on the female, the health and the temperament are the most important things before you even start looking at phenotype or any of that. You know, if she's not healthy, she's not going to have healthy pups. And if she's not smart and trainable, and if she can't take care of a litter, then she's no good to you anyway. So
yeah, that's a fact, Caveman.
Oh, that's a super fact, man.
I see a lot of people going in the wrong direction, trying to select these bully females, and they end up not being able to produce any dogs.
Yeah. No, that's real.
Real facts.
Okay. You guys keep participating in the chat, man. I'll come back to y'all. You know what I mean? If you see something I need to tap into, let me know. Ready? All right. So number 4, you learn what not to repeat. Most breeders repeat breedings based on pedigree hype, one standout dog, social media marketing. That's gambling. When you raise and test the entire litter, you see structural weakness that pop up repeatedly, nerve flaws under pressure, recovery time differences, bite, endurance, intensity differences. You get brutal honesty. That saves years of wasted breeding. You guys get number 4. You learn what not to repeat. You guys get number 4. Anything you want to add?
And I like that one. I like that sum up.
You want to
Oh,
add? You want to add? You want to elaborate on what she said?
basically, you can't go off the height, man. You gotta test your dogs so you could see what they throwing off instead of seeing a post about it and gambling off of what somebody said instead of seeing it with
Yeah.
your own eyes.
Yes. Yep.
Stop believing in the lies.
Well, it's the wives' tales and the theories of what you can.
But some of them could be telling the truth, but you still can't know that until you get your hands on them.
Right. You don't know the truth until you test a dog, because every dog is an individual. Period. Period. The pedigree is like the outline of the dog. The pedigree, if it's real, is the outline of the dog, right? The test is really what's going to prove the dog. Okay. And there's proven in performance and there's proven in breeding. Okay. Two different things. That's why you keep whole litters, because you want to assess what you produced in those dogs based off of the pedigree, if you believe in the pedigree or not. Then once you assess those dogs and you see their pluses and minuses, and then you create the synergy of balance when you breed them to another dog, a line of dogs, whatever, and you balance in those synergies together, and then you test to see if they can produce that, then you find out what that dog is. Okay, but there's not going to be, at least that's what I've assessed, and I'm sure UK, man, you've had a lot of puppies. I've seen similarities in my dogs, but none of them were the same. There were always ones that excelled at certain things more than the others. Even though they could excel at the same things, one excelled over the other even more so. Okay, that's what I've been able to assess off of the dogs that I've kept that were of the same litter. You know what I mean? Anything else you guys want to add? K-Man, you want to add anything to number 4? You learn what not to repeat.
No, I'm good with that. I agree with what you said too about the different levels of performance.
Yeah. Yep. And as I said, that's why that, especially when we're doing these type F1s, like you're in your lab and you're like cooking some shit up. You do your first outcross. This is why this is so important, this topic, keeping the whole litter, because with that first outcross, you should, either do a back cross or you should do an inbreed to the brother and sister that has the balance of what you were looking for in that breeding as a whole. All right, let's go to number 5. Number 5, you separate production from performance. See, we know better than this because we learned this. But those of you guys who's new to this class, okay, we separate production from performance. There's two different things now, okay? You perform and you either produce. Two different things. It's rare that you get one that does both. It's rare. But if you do, praise God, thank Jesus, all right? Other than that, hey, we got to separate the two. We need to know who can produce and who can perform. Here we go. There's differences between dogs that look good, dogs that train well, dogs that perform under real pressure. Only by testing the full litter can you see who fades under stress, who peaks late, who breaks mentally, who gets stronger when pressure increases. That's breeding for performance, not production. You guys get number 5?
Yep. That's kind of like what I was talking about with the even your weakest looking pup that
Yep.
ignores the siblings and all that. It don't have its soul yet. It's still like,
Still developing.
yeah, developing. That joint might become a beast later on and
Facts. Definitely
outperform all of them.
puppy pack time.
Yeah, outperform all of them at a excelling level and outproduce and might be prepotent as well. You might got all of that in that weak looking pup at that time.
At that time. Yeah.
Facts.
I,
You know,
yeah, if
I was on
that's,
live with. Oh, go ahead, K man.
I think what you're talking about is a standoffish pup, and they're a lot of times misunderstood. And really, all they're doing is they're sitting back, gathering information about what's going on before they make a move. They're not like the other
You know
puppies who
what's
just mindlessly rush in.
Smarter
Uh, yeah, and they as soon as they
thinking.
figure out a routine and what's going on and what's a threat and what's not, then they're a whole different animal.
facts?
Yeah. Yep. You know, like you have to treat your.
Yeah, but they're not really timid. I would advise against breeding any dogs.
You were breaking up, K man. Say that again.
I was just saying those pups a lot of times aren't actually timid. They're just observant. Mm. I
You know,
myself, I wouldn't breed any
Yeah,
timid dogs.
yeah, they're just thinking
That's
about
a problem with the.
what's going on in the surroundings. That's what they're doing. Thinking the motors, the
I was
brains.
gonna say during the brain development time too
Yeah.
for the puppy pack time. If you do a little structure, you know, throw little trees down, and you know you could build little shit, build little structures, see who could get over obstacles, who's really motivated to get to that food or not. You know, as a puppy, as puppies, I say that's some of the best motivations for them is food. So during that time, you can mark every week, like, okay, so this puppy might have been a little standoffish, or it might have been a puppy just to roam. Why these four was the ones to get straight to it. But by week two, it's like that puppy that's roaming might be the first puppy every time you put that bowl down, the first puppy over. So you really want to take notes on your puppies. Like when you say like taking notes, like damn near like almost every day, and change up a little obstacles. Don't keep it the same, because if you're dealing with real, true, intelligent dogs, they're gonna catch the hang of it once again by that week, by that 2 week mark. They already own it. So by that third week, you want to change it. By that 6th week, you want to change it again. So by 8 weeks, you already got a little puppy imprint and a little brain development going. So now you can, once again, it's the difference between a well trained, behaved dog compared to a dog that really want to get out there and do it.
yeah, your dog is like a computer algorithm. Your dog is not like a human. So the more you program in it,
Facts.
this AI, the more it gets better. Now, if it's a dumb dog, it's a dumb dog. I've owned dumb dogs before, so But the more you put into that dog that is aware that you're putting into it, the more that you build his confidence up. So remember, we did that master class on the Malinois with that breeder. Shout out to Inquisitive de Jena. I forgot the brother's name who we commentated on his class with the Malinois. Remember we did that one?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Okay, he talked about that, how he made mistakes about picking dogs, and how these breeder clubs made mistakes by picking these type of dogs who are certain type of ways, and the dogs who were the ones who were standoffish, how they threw them out the program, but those dogs turned out to be the better dogs. You know, he talked about his mistakes coming up. If you guys missed that one, go watch that one, the master class on the Malinois we did. So go back on. That was a great class, by the way. Inquisitive de Jena. He was in that. He was actually a part of that live that we actually was able to review and commentate on. So shout out to that one. But a lot of the stuff that we already went over, but it's good for us to kind of go into these subjects that we're on, and then it kind of all ties together. You know what I mean?
yep,
Right. Because he's dealing with the shepherds, but it still fell in the same realm
Oh,
of
it's
the
all
elite
dogs.
protection work. Oh, he do all dogs. I
No,
thought he
no,
was only doing
he does a
shepherds.
Malinois, but what I'm saying is that's every dog.
Oh yeah, facts. Elite performance dogs.
Well, not even that. That's every dog. Depending on what you're trying to assess, a lot of times, like you said, you'll watch a dog who is shy, and you'll automatically assume that dog is weak. Whereas that dog is just, watching, observing before he or she makes a move. She or he is just a thinking dog. She or he is just more precautious than the other ones, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because that dog has mental awareness. It's not just a crash dummy dog.
Right.
But like I said, us as engineers, we need to accept them all. And then even when you get a dog that's kind of timid, you need to put that timid dog through tests to make sure, maybe you're just not confident because you just don't know no better. Sometimes those dogs can't come out of that timidness. When you know that, when you test that dog, like you need to have when you have a timid dog, you need to have a timid dog test. A timid dog test to see if you can bring it out of it. Because think about things that you used to be scared of. I think about things that I used to be scared of. I remember before I knew how to do a backflip, I was scared that I was going to fucking backflip and break my neck. I remember before I knew how to do wheelies on motorcycles, I was scared that I was going to fucking mishandle my bike and crash. But over time, I practiced and I got comfortable with the thrill of it. I got comfortable with the fucking risk of it. And I took it step by step. And then I was doing backflips and no hand backflips. And I'm doing wheelies on freeways. And I'm doing all kind of shit. Where before I was timid. So somebody else would tell me, hey man, coach, you would never be able to do a wheelie. Coach, you would never be able to do a wheelie. And in the beginning, if I would have believed him, I'd have been like, you know what, you're right. Because I am scared of that. I'm scared I'm going to crash and kill myself. I done seen people fall and crash on motorcycles. But you know what I said? You know what? I'm just going to take it nice and slow like Usher. And so what me and my partners did, we went out and we practiced. And practice. I done burnt through so many clutches. But eventually, I'm over there killing the freeway. And I'm over there wheeling and doing all kind of shit. That motherfucker's like, yo, dog, what are you doing? Yeah. Same thing with your dogs. Let's go to number 6. Okay. It protects your program long term. Okay, that's number 6. It protects your program long term. You've talked about watered down bloodlines in your content. Yes, that's correct. We have. Here's how that happens. Breeder produces one exceptional dog, sells the rest, breeds off of the one standout, assumes the cross was elite. Over generation, intensity drops, consistency drops, traits fragment. Because the breeder never understood the full genetic package, okay, keeping the litter allows you to stack correctly, cull correctly, select with data, avoid dilution. That's how elite programs stay elite. You guys get number 6. She goes, it protects your program long terms. Okay. When you talk, she said, you've talked a lot about watered down bloodlines in your content. You guys get number 6?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to number 7. You build a genetic library. Ooh, this is what I built. Okay. If you're serious about building something like a Formula One canines long term, this is engineering. Of course, it's engineering. This is what we teach over here, ladies and gentlemen. We teach engineering dogs, creating dogs, making dogs better, fixing dogs. That's what we do over here. This is different. Over here. You got to have a different mindset over here. You got to think outside the box to create the circle. Okay, so listen up. You keep the best performers, the best structurally built, the best mentally stable, males and females. You track development curves, hormonal maturity, injury rates, reproduction traits, longevity. That's not backyard breeding. That's program building. You guys get number 7. You building a genetic library. You guys get number 7. Anything you guys want to elaborate on? for number 7?
Yes, sir. But I do got a question though. Is it okay to do a breeding for females or males? But to say once you do the breeding, if you do see a male that outperforms the female that you're looking for, of course you keep the male. But is it also okay to keep that female to see if you can still breed her or potentially match her up with a dog that can outperform the next generation?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. Unless you guys know, Les K-Man. I'm not sure what you mean, Verde. Les K-Man knows, Ready knows. You might have to repeat that question for me again.
So for this one, it says you
I
keep
kind of,
males. Go ahead, Kate. Go ahead,
K-Man.
yeah, I kind of know, and yeah, a lot of people don't even test their females; they just use sisters of proven winners. You know, depends on what sport you're in, but you know, with the dogs and with the chickens, they don't test the females a lot of the times. They just go off of her genetics. You know, they based her off of her brothers.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if the brothers do outperform, do they just throw the females away, even if they were breeding for females or males?
I guess that would be on each individual person's philosophy, but I wouldn't. I mean, if the purpose of the female is to produce pups, you know, and if
That
her
is
brother,
prepotent. That's going to outperform the next generation. But that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you make that decision in that litter when the males is clearly outperforming the females, or vice versa?
well, I guess that's be on a case by case basis. But yeah, you're gonna go off of the genetics that they have in them, you know, and try to replace the piece that they're missing. That doesn't really happen a lot. I mean, that if that happens, that's going to happen within your first couple generations. Once you once you have a line established, you're not really going to see that where you know your males are good and your females aren't. But I mean, that could very well happen in like your F2, very likely. But then, I guess you'd have to breed off pedigree and possibly breed two of the females because obviously they're missing half of the genetics you want.
So that pretty much goes back to like what you were saying last week in the chat, how it could decline.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully K-Man answered your question, Verde.
No, he did for sure. Because it's kind of, it's a little controversy to it, but I know at the same time when we're breeding for high performance, we're talking about selecting the whole litter so we can make sure we're continuing the line in the best way. But I was
Right.
just wondering, like, if you were to breed, and you were looking for a male or female in that litter, but you see that your males is outproducing the females that you was looking at, or vice versa, how would you go on with that selection? Like, would you try to, not to say like a secretariat way, but would you try to find a different, male? But I
No,
don't know.
this is what you would do, Verde. To keep it simple, you would just be patient and you would keep breeding until you get what you want, but you would keep those until you that's why we talk about keeping the whole litter. Then you would keep those until you get what the outcome that you want, until you get the female that you want as a top tier performer or the male, whatever you're breeding for. You would keep cooking it until you get it.
Right. Okay.
Got a full deck of cards.
Facts.
to
And
play
like
with.
facts, ready, like you say, you get a whole new deck of cards at that.
Yep.
Or just keep throwing different males in the litter at her until you hit.
Or depending on how
Yep.
diverse those genetics are, you just match, you breed brother and sister together, and you match those together so that you don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't go and add some, you don't do a whole
That's
different explosion to your shit.
that's what I thought he meant. Like within that within the litter, like just pick different males in that litter
Oh,
and let them hit her until she hopefully hit one.
Well, no, I
well,
was just speaking. Actually speaking. To be honest, ready, I was speaking in general. Like, you know, even if you had to add in a dog, you feel me? Like from what I learned and been learning in the classes, that's where I was like. So what? Like
Oh,
for
you
instance,
may go
401k just
outside.
said 416 just said in the chat. He said you choose your best females. But the question is, even the best female in the litter, if you got 4 males in that litter that's outperforming the best female, you see what I'm saying? It's like,
okay,
how
so
do you
then
just
watch this. You do what man said, and you trust your genetics behind that female. It is, listen, remember, there's a performers and there's producers. Okay, just because you're a great performer don't mean you're a great producer. Just because you're not a great performer doesn't mean you're not going to be a great producer. So this is why you test every aspect of that dog, whether it be in performance, whether it be in production. So just
production?
because she's
Right.
not a great producer, excuse me, a great performer, Verde, doesn't mean that she's not going to be able to produce you better than what she is in performance.
Facts. She might be great in the bed. Hey.
Right, right. That's why it's so important that we test all theories. We don't assume shit. We do not assume nothing as engineers. We test everything. You got something to say, K-Man? Because I see you off mute.
Yeah, it would depend too on, are your females like all lacking in the same thing, or are they lacking different things in each other? That's how you would go forward from there. But my first move might be to breed to her top performing brother to at least 2 females, and then breed their pups together. That's what you'd have to do to correct a situation like that to get to, any kind of performance and consistency. It's going to be a couple step process.
But I was just gonna say, so but in that process, it can decline too, possibly.
It could by improper selection, but that's one of the reasons we're talking about whole litter selection. Usually when a line declines, it's because somebody made a wrong choice for their breeders, and they matched up like quantitative traits that you could not see on the surface.
Okay, and that's pretty much what we finna learn tonight.
Yeah, if you're doing like Reddy has said, you can. Let's see, you're keeping all your F2s around. You make your F1. Let's say it is, or maybe it's a poly, so your diversity's in your F1. You keep those around and keep breeding those back into the line periodically. And you keep that diversity, keep from bottlenecking too much. And you can correct, if you made a move in the wrong direction with the last breeding, your dogs come out with, their legs are a little too short or something. You just breed back to their uncle that's, on the taller side.
Fact.
Yep, that makes sense.
Facts. Understood. Understood for sure.
Okay, let's keep it going, fellas. Let's keep it going. Hey, chat, we're gonna get to you guys. Don't worry, chat. You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
see
saying?
questions in there. I see mad
They're
ill
going
shit.
hard. We'll come back to it after we keep chopping this down. So keep cooking in there in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We'll come back to it. Let's go here. All right, so number 8. The hard truth. Most breeders don't keep entire litters because it's expensive. That's true. It's time consuming. That's true. It requires space. That's very true. It requires brutal culling decisions. That's very true. It delays profit. Oh man, oh my gosh. It's very true too. But elite programs historically did in both dogs and horses. That's true. Okay. Because I've done it. And I'm sure when you got a multi-million-dollar program, you're going to do it too with your horses just to make sure you test everything so you get your investment back, right? Now, you think elite thoroughbred farms sell the whole crop without evaluation? Well, we know that's no. They evaluate hard before decisions. Okay, that's the same thing with us. Okay, that's why this is the hard truth. There's a lot of things we got to think about: how much it costs, how much time, how much space. You know, you're not going to make no money. You know, you got to make some hard culling decisions. You got to test everything. This is why most people don't do this. This is why people have sparse data when it comes to their fucking program, because they didn't test everything. They assumed that an 8-week-old puppy is going to be the best one for their program, which not a damn puppy is going to tell you anything about the future of your program. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
This is the hard truth, y'all. You know, as engineers, we got to accept this. If you really try to advance your program, you have to accept that we can't throw no data out. You are not God when it comes to genetics. You're only assisting God when you're taking God's creation and you're mixing them together based off of your assessment of your notes, your assessment of the dogs, your assessment of their parents, your assessment of the previous offspring, your assessment of the genetic flaws, your assessment of the genetic pluses. All this stuff that we know is in our data is just an assessment. It's what we call an educated guess when we breed. And then because of meiosis, we get that genetic shuffle each and every damn time. And we understand it and we respect it. But at the same time, you know, there's methods to this madness that we call high performance working dog breeding. And if you try everything, you apply everything in practice, you will eventually bump your head into some pretty favorable results. Period. Okay? Period. It will work out if you test it all. But if you over there are just guessing and shit, oh, this is the one. You know, I'm only going to keep 2 out of this litter. I'm going to pick these 2. You know what I mean? And you wonder why somebody else who got a pet got the best dog, or you wonder when your homeboy got the dog that was the runt, produced better than what your fucking top tier so-called pick produced. That's the reason why. Let's keep it going. She goes, when it's not necessary. Let's be honest. If the breeding is just for pets, not a performance line, not a long-term program, then keeping a full litter isn't critical. That makes sense. But if you're trying to build elite working stock, competition dogs, multi-generation genetic stacking, then selling the majority immediately is short-term thinking. You guys get that when it's not necessary?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bottom line, if you don't test the whole litter, you don't actually know what you produced. You only know what you kept. And that's a dangerous blind spot. All right, you guys get the bottom line?
Yeah, that's the make or break you.
Come on, man. That's the bottom line. Okay, that's the bottom line. Now, this is where we get into our engineering bag, okay? I love this, right? This is when we get into our engineering bag. This is where I want you guys to really think about what we're talking about. And I want you guys to add to these equations that we are breaking down, all right? So she goes, now we're talking real program building. If you're serious about engineering elite dogs, not just producing them, keeping the whole F1 litter becomes even more critical when your goal is to breed F1 back to F1 to create a stacked F2, okay? let's break this down properly. Why you keep the entire F1 litter before breeding F1 to F1 to create an elite F2. When you do an elite competition breeding, true elite times true elite, your F1 generation is not the finished product. Okay, it's your genetic blueprint spread out in pieces. Okay, if you sell half the blueprint, you limit what you can build next. You guys get that?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me read that one more time. Why you keep the entire F1 litter before breeding F1 to create an F2, to create an elite F2, When you do an elite competition breeding, true elite times true elite, what she means by that, let me clarify that. True prepotent times true prepotent. That's what she means by the elite, because the prepotent means you can produce those elite traits, right? Not just because it was a star performer to a star performer. You guys get that now?
Yep.
Thank you, fellas.
Yep.
I hope y'all get that in the chat. True elite means true prepotent, producing those traits that are elite, not true in the form of what it did in its performance capabilities in competition, all right? Your F1 generation is not the finished product. It's your genetic blueprint spread out in pieces. If you sell half the blueprint, you limit what you can build next. All right, let's go to number one. The F1 is a genetic spread, not a finished dog. Even from two elite parents, F1 pups will distribute traits differently. Some lean more towards the sire, some lean more towards the dam, some blend evenly, some amplify traits, some suppress traits. If you keep the whole litter, you see the full genetic map. If you only keep one or two, you're selecting blind. And when you breed F1 back to F1, blindness is expensive. You guys get number one?
Yep.
Okay, man, how do you feel about the number one? The F1 is a genetic spread, not a finished dog. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'd agree with all that. With I don't know how to word it, but if your F1 already has diversity in both sides, that's true.
But she's only talking about a true F1, okay, man. You know that. She's not thinking about how we breaking it down. She's thinking a true F1. That's how she's thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we need to, like you said, we need to do an episode on a true hybrid.
Okay. Let's do that. Hey, you ain't got to cook on it, okay, man. You don't have to cook on it. I just want to know what you think of it. Let's do that. Let's do what you said. You know what I mean? Because I want to understand it fully. I think that'll be a great class for us.
Yeah, me too.
So let's make a class on that one. You cool with that, K-Man?
Oh yeah, I'd love it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready for next week or whenever.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go to number two, fellas. Okay, number two, you identify complementary traits. You identify complementary trait pairings. The entire purpose of F1 times F1 is control recombination. You're not just doubling up. You're matching strong frames to refined structure, high drive to stable nerve, explosive motor to endurance motor, dominant traits to complementary recessiveness. If you only kept two pups, your pairing options are limited. If you kept the entire litter, you can study who carries dominant structure genes, who carries elite nerve, who carries recovery, who carries durability, who carries intensity without instability. Now you can intentionally pair strength to strengths, That's engineering. Oh, I love number 2. You guys get number 2? I love number 2.
Yep. I like that one.
I love number 2.
Yep. That's where the work begins.
Exactly. That's where the fun begins. Engineers,
Fun.
artists. That's where the fun begins. And of course, it takes a lot of work. Of course, it's going to take some space. Of course, it's going to take some time. Of course, it's going
Lots
to take
of
some
time.
patience. But
And lots of money.
oh, and I mean, definitely gonna have some. You gotta have some money involved now. Come on now. Come on, you gotta have some money involved now. But this is why you do it. This is why you would spend your money on, that top tier male that you bought and that you tested and that okay, this is gonna give me these traits, and that top tier female, or let's say in reverse, you buy that top tier female and then you research your top tier studs, and let's say that guy wants $5,000 for the stud fee, but you're gonna get those traits. This is where it's like, oh yes, I got my fucking top tier bitch. I got that top tier stud. They're prepotent.com. I'm gonna get that Harlem Shuffle, that meiosis, that shuffleup.com, shuffle up and deal, and I'm keeping all the puppies, and I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna observe, and then I'm gonna pair them accordingly. I'm not pairing same the same. Whatever one lacks, I'm pairing that one that has what that other one lacks. And because they come from that same genetic pool and they have enough genetic diversity, when I breed them together, I'm not gonna achieve genetic bottlenecking. I'm just gonna compound what these puppies are. Oh, I love that. Number 2 is so dope. Pay attention in class, you guys. That's engineering is number 2, fellas and ladies. That's how you engineer a goddamn dog. High performance dog, not a show dog. A high performance dog. Okay, let's go to number 3. You prevent genetic drift in the F2. When people rush F1 to F1 using limited stock, they often amplify imbalance. For example, too high drive but weak nerve dogs equals unstable F2. Okay. Too strong structure but low motor dogs, diluted performance F2. Too explosive but strong-winded dogs, burnout F2s. Why you keep the entire F1? You can balance frame with motor, motor with brain, brain with durability. That balance is what produces a truly elite F2, not chaos. You guys get number 3?
Yo, that joint was broken down so wonderfully.
Yes, it was. You guys are paying attention. You engineers, you guys paying attention in class? You engineers? You guys want to do this at a high level? We got to think like this. This is how you think. Nothing's off the table, but it has to be a rhyme or reason why we do this shit. There needs to be a reason why. You need to understand why you're pairing your dogs together. There needs to be a reason why you're going to do an inbreeding, brother and sister breeding. There needs to be a reason why you're going to do a complete F1. There needs to be a reason why you're going to do a line breeding. There needs to be a reason why you're going to do an outcross. There needs to be a reason. And the reason is balance pairing. Balance pairing. Not imbalance pairing, but balance pairing. Period. That's where it's fun. That's where the work come in. That's where it's art. Gentlemen, ladies. Let's go to number 4.
Off and on switch.
All that. All of it. Ready? Off and on switch. Fucking super motor with the intercooler. You know what I mean? Quick recovery, fucking great functional frame. You know what I mean? Durable joints. You know what I mean? Big hearts. You know what I mean? No soft palate in the throat. You know what I'm saying? Mental awareness. Can make decisions on their own.
Pain tolerance.
Pain tolerance. Oh, you gotta have that pain tolerance now. You know what I mean? You gotta have the multiple drives. You know what I mean? You can't just have one drive. We gotta have multiple drives now. Come on, y'all. This shit ain't easy, but it's fun when you understand it. It's fun when you understand it. It's even funner when you got the money and the resources to actually put it in action, put it in practice. Ooh, it's even more fun when you actually really do it in real life. All right, number 4. You increase probability of elite trait stacking. F2 is where recombination explodes. This is where traits can lock in and intensify, separate and fragment, combine into something greater than F1, or completely collapse. If you want the highest probability of producing an extreme elite F2, you need multiple F1 males, multiple F1 females, tested under pressure, evaluated over time. That gives you multiple pairing. What's that?
Permutations.
Thank you. Permutations. Thank you, Reddy. That gives you multiple pairing permutations. More permutations equals higher probability of hitting the elite genetic alignment. If you only kept one male and one female, you get one roll of the dice. That's not how serious programs operate. Oh, she hit us again with number 4. You guys love number 4. You guys get number 4. Anything you want to elaborate?
Yeah, you definitely need the whole litter, man.
I don't want one
I don't want to keep doing the same shit over and over. That's like that
Yeah, I'm
ain't
gonna
even.
say
That's not a program. That's just like that's a backyard breeder mentality.
things happen.
I want to get genetic diversity. I want the variations. I want to see different shit every time. I don't want the same shit.
Hey, I want
Backwards.
multiple. Hey, ready. I want a chat. I want multiple rolls of the dice. I don't want to be at the casino only rolling the dice one time.
Right? Yeah.
Who is
Wanna?
that fun
I
as an
need
engineer
it. I
when you
need
only roll the
freaks,
dice one
man.
time?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get that freak, man. Can't get it with one pup, one dog, two dogs. That ain't shit. All of them motherfuckers. All of them play. Everything plays.
Everything plays, man. Pay attention in class. You smart engineers in here, come on, man. There ain't no classroom like it, man. Pay attention in class. I know it's over a lot of you heads, but at the same time, if you go back and watch it and study, man, I mean, shit, you'll get it, man. And then if you practice, you'll really get it. You put this shit in your program, you'll really see it, just like I did. K-Man, did you want to say something? I know you. I heard your microphone come on. I don't know if you want to say something or not.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a bad signal or what, but I was talking. No, I said with the F2, all those options that she said could happen, they actually all do happen, and you have to select the right ones from there because you get all those extremes in the F2
Yep.
if you're using specimens anyway. You get the recessive stacked up, you get the dominant stacked up, you get those mixed 2 different ways. You know.
Yep. Pay attention in class, fellas. Ooh, I love our classroom. I love our classroom. Forces you all to think about what you do before you do it, and then fucking do it. Do it. We're not throwing nothing. If I got top tier genetics, I ain't throwing shit away. And being that we learned about genetic bottlenecking, I'm never gonna bottleneck my genetics. Imagine if you man, real shit. I got so many top tier dogs in my genetic laboratory. I'm never bottlenecking them dogs. Why would I pay for a top tier dog to eventually bottleneck it and wash it out? For me, that's stupid as hell. For me. I want that old dog to work just as good as it did when he was fucking living or she was fucking living. Okay. But as an artist and an engineer, I need to make sure I play that fucking genetic part to where it doesn't get bottlenecked and watered down. I can't keep line breeding and shit and think I'm not going to bottleneck and water down my blood. I got to keep whole litters because every dog is a whole different genetic expression of their parents. I need to assess every goddamn dog so I know which goddamn dog I'm going to put together with another dog to complement that dog's lacking. Whatever that dog's lacking, I need to breed that dog with the dog that has what it doesn't have. And can produce it though, but it can produce it though without bottlenecking what I already have in the genetic pool. Woo, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard to do, fellas, ladies. But we're giving you something to think about in this class. See, that's the true artist. That's the true engineer when you can do that and keep advancing. Every time you do a breeding, if your dogs ain't getting better, if you ain't seeing what you already had in it but better, then you fucking up. Like, you shouldn't lose what you have. It should get better. You should just be adding to it and still see what you had in the past. Add to it and still see what you had. Not what the dog fucking looks like now. Not what the fucking dog looks like, but performance. Performance. Frames, brains, motors, gentlemen and ladies. Performance. Think about those jets. Lockheed Martin. None of them motherfucking new jets look the same. They all look different, but they all advance in performance. All the old shit that they had, they just add more shit to the old shit. But the planes don't look the fucking same. Am I correct or am I false, gentlemen?
Nah, you telling the
I'm
truth.
sure they know this.
No, it's a fact, for sure. 1,000%.
So if you guys and gals who are engineers is breeding your dogs for fucking looks and not performance, then you know what? Louis Doberman would not approve of you as a motherfucking competition or working dog type breeder because he wasn't breeding for looks.
That's for damn sure.
Like you say, or like you say, that popular sire effect. It's not just chasing papers, but in the performance world, it will be chasing a popular working elite dog, and that could be male production. It could be a male, as in the popular sire effect, or it can even be female productions. People see a female that works so hard, everybody want her productions, but her productions ain't shit. So it's like, you got to breed for what you know and breed for what you breeding for real, not for what everybody else is breeding for. Same with the market, shit goes in play. You can't breed for the market, can't breed for social media. Like, the moment you do that is the moment your program will decline. That goes back to rule number 4 on the last page. You feel me? On the last segment, on this segment.
Mm-hmm.
4, if y'all go back in the live and listen to 4, it explains a lot. Don't do them steps, for real. Don't do that shit.
Yeah. Well, again, I keep it simple for you guys. I don't care how great your last breeding was as far as the productions. You should never say to yourself as an engineer, we're not breeders, as an engineer, that I want these dogs to be the same as they mommy and daddy. I don't care how great they were. I don't care how great they were. I don't care if they were, like I said, I don't care if you got a secretariat. If you are not in the lab because you produced that secretariat, if you're not in the lab trying to make a better one, then what the fuck are you doing? I just need to say, I need secretariat to clone himself. Why do you think they don't allow cloning in thoroughbred racehorses? They don't allow it.
That's a fact. And I said breed for what you breed for, but no, breed for better, breed for greater, breed for better achievements, healthier. Like you said, more intensity in the drive, different levels of drive. Don't just breed, because the dad bites hard, I want a dog in the litter that's going to bite hard like the dad. No, it should be, I want a dog in the litter that's going to have more mouth and a better bite and a better drive, but similar to the dad. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, they're always going to be similar to the parents. That's why you want prepotency.
Facts.
Okay. But the art is pairing what you lack in to what you need. You know what I mean? Like you whatever you lack, you put that into your line so that you can complement the dog that you're adding, right? The dogs need to complement each other. However, they need to add to each other. So that's how you're able to keep what you already have by the complementary of the two pairing, but they need to be adding something to each other that they lack. Period. And that should be every fucking breeding. If you're breeding high performance dogs, that should be your whole objective, is enhancing performance. And whatever God blesses you with as far as the phenotype, the way the dog looks. See, because I want to get into the military as far as selling my dogs to the Department of War. One thing I've learned by studying is they want dogs all types of sizes. They got all type of breeds. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want one type of dog. The dogs is hopping out of helicopters and shit with the motherfucking Navy SEALs with the dog strapped. Those are smaller motherfucking Malinois. Then the ones that's probably on patrol, those are probably bigger Malinois. You know, they don't want them all to be the same cookie cutter type dogs. Their hope is, can the dog do the job? Yes or no? Can the dog fit this particular installment of whatever mission that we got with the size and whatever it does? Yes or no? They don't want all the same cookie cutter shit. As high performance working dog breeders, be grateful with whatever God blesses you with. If you get the small dog and you're like, oh, I don't want him to be small, but that dog becomes a superior performer and you give it to somebody else, how stupid are you? How dumb is you? Well, I just didn't like the way it looked. How stupid is you? That dog was more elite than your fucking dog that you loved the way it looked. And you sold it because you didn't like how small it was or the size of it. Give me a fucking break. I digress. Let me carry on. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Number 5, you identify hidden recessive before doubling them. This is huge. F1 dogs may carry structural weakness not expressed, nerve instability that only shows under stress, health vulnerabilities, recovery deficiencies. You can keep and test the whole litter. You see patterns. Okay, excuse me. When you keep and test the whole litter, I apologize, you see patterns. Okay, if 3 pups show a certain flaw, that trait is in the genetic pool. Now you avoid pairing carriers. If you sold those pups and never saw the flaw, you might accidentally double it in the F2. That's how programs crash. You guys get number 5? You identify hidden recessives before doubling them. You guys get number 5?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything you want to add before we move on? Nope.
No.
Yes. All right.
But recessives are.
She's saying the right thing.
What's that?
No, I'm talking about she's ChatGPT. She said the right thing. But yeah, you need to have all those puppies. You can't sell none of them. You gotta
See, those are those hidden, like you said.
shit. It's hidden.
I know you elaborate on this. The hidden recessive.
Yeah.
Hidden recessive.
It might not show up.
Yeah, let's say you had 8 pups and 4 of them carried a hidden recessive, and you bred a male that had the recessive to a female that didn't. You would never know that male had that recessive until it popped up on you further down the line when you was line breeding off that dog. But if you bred him,
running back though, like if you back cross, like you get that once you run a daughter back to the dad and the son back to the mom,
would pop up with that recessive trait in their pups.
like you would see either or in which parent had that recessive trait. Okay, man, I think you're going in and out.
Yeah, I think I am too, because I don't know what you heard. Yeah, basically, if you have a hidden recessive in your line, and let's say you pick a male out and he carries that recessive trait, and you breed him to another, let's say a sister, and she doesn't carry it, you'll never know that that male has that until you accidentally double it up later when you're line breeding. Where if you bred him with all of his sisters, his sister that carried that recessive trait, now those two would have half of their puppies showing that recessive trait.
Nah, that makes perfect sense.
That do for sure. But question came in. Say if you are trying to track where that recessive trait is coming from, is it possible you can backcross one of the daughters sons to the parents to see in the offspring? Not saying like you would want to do some shit like that, but if you were to want to, track it down to try to keep it out.
Yeah, if you want to track it down, you can back cross to the dogs to find out who's carrying it.
Okay.
But if you're seeing that they both carry it,
Mm.
so and like I was saying, if you got a recessive trait in your litter and you pick a male that doesn't have that recessive, and you breed them to his sisters, none of them pups will show that recessive.
Okay. Until you
No,
double it.
so you won't know that your female has it because you didn't match up two dogs, that had the recessive. So
Yeah.
process of elimination, you can find out who's got what.
I was going to say, if you do keep that's crazy that she said that, because if you keep the whole litter, you can you can do a back cross and still breed brother to sisters to track and to move forward in the right way. Just in case if you don't want to double up on that recessive gene. But it's like the with the meiosis we learned, it's like you're still taking that chance.
Well, yeah, but the meiosis is irrelevant to the selection, because that happens before the pup's born. So it either has that trait or it doesn't.
See, that's what you was trying to explain in the beginning. And Reddy said that must be what, level two, like level two, level three.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna get it.
That would right in your F2s, you would start to see the recessives. And then if you did any doubling up in the F3s, you would really see it. Or you could make it where the F3, that's all they carry. Like if you're F1, one dog is dominant, one dog's recessive. None of the pups will show recessive, but they'll all carry it. So if you take two of those pups and breed them together, some of their pups will show that recessive trait. If you take two of those pups that show that recessive trait and breed them together, your whole line is now running off that recessive trait. That's the only trait you're going to show.
Damn.
So I heard about this, like recessive traits can work in dominant ways.
Well, yeah, basically what I just explained is you're taking a recessive and doubling it up, and then doubling it up again to where it now is the dominant trait. Like it's the only trait.
Only trait, literally, like, and okay, man, that's what I'm understanding right now. It's like if you take a green to two reds, you're going to get majority of reds and green. But it's like if you keep breeding that green, eventually you're going to start having double greens to the point you're only going to have greens.
Yep, that's right.
That's okay. Okay. Understood.
Nice. Okay, shit. Okay, pay attention in class, man.
Hooking up.
Yeah. The supercomputer, man. Thank you guys, chat. Chat. We see y'all in there. You know what I'm saying? We try to get through the class, so y'all keep cooking. It is what it. We gonna come back to y'all. But hey, salute. This is the super dog man computer. Just how we designed it. So we appreciate everybody participating and all the good stuff that we provide, man. We appreciate everybody's knowledge in on this subject. Okay, let's carry on. So then we got number 6. You control variance instead of becoming a victim of it. Oh, okay, I like this. Let's use the racehorse analogy. In elite thoroughbred programs like those that study the legacy of Secretariat, they evaluate entire crops before breeding decisions are made. They study conformation, movement, cardiovascular development, mental response. They don't randomly breed siblings. They analyze the distribution. That's the difference between elite and amateur. You guys get that number 6 with thoroughbreds?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yep.
number 7. F2 is where you lock the type. F1 often shows hybrid vigor. We know that. We love hybrid vigor. F2 shows whether the type is real. If your goal is to establish a consistent competition type, build prepotency, create a recognizable performance signature, you must control the F2 tightly. Keeping the entire F1 litter gives you selection depth, genetic diversity with the cross, balanced recombination options, higher stacking probability. Without that, your F2 is just hopeful inbreeding. You guys get that for number 7? I love that number 7.
Yeah, I like that one too. Or
Okay. This is why I have my philosophy on what I'm going to be doing with my hybrids. Why I have that 1, 2, 3, and I'm done and I'm moving on. I'm going to repeat. I'm going to rinse and repeat. That 1, 2, 3, rinse and repeat. Because I don't want to get to a point where I'm bottlenecked. Because I got the dog. Now let me just breed on it and just create a line. To each their own, right? To each their own. But we see that with thoroughbred racehorses right now. Okay, they started like K-Man taught us. You got that male, maybe a couple males, and you have a whole bunch of females. Then you breed those couple males. Like with the thoroughbreds, they got 3 different type of males, 3 different males, 3 different breeds of horses, and a whole bunch. They said 30 brood mares, 30 of them. And that was their breeding stock. And they bred those all kind of combinations until they got to the point where now they're genetically bottlenecked. Now they got to do something about their stub books, which I know they've already done it. But this is the reality. Okay. So let's go to number 8. The hard truth. Most breeders don't keep full F1 litters because it's expensive, of course. It requires space, of course. It delays sales, of course. It forces ruthless selection, of course. But if the goal is elite program building, long-term genetic stacking, performance dominance, then selling F1 early limits your ceiling. The real bottom line, you need data from the entire F1, multiple tested F1 males, multiple tested F1 females, complementary trait mapping, ruthless culling discipline. Otherwise, you're just breeding sibling and hoping. And hope is not breeding strategy. You guys get that bottom line?
yeah, it's like you're just breeding without a vision, with no vision.
Yeah, you can't will your way.
Right. That's exactly, you can't will your way, fellas. You can't. I mean, that's why we talked about last week, that educated guess. You know, what we're trying to teach you guys is the educated guess. Being that we're always going to deal with the shuffling of genetics anytime we breed, it's good to always have educated guesses. Okay? The ones who practice, like they practice their educated guesses, like in thoroughbred racing, thoroughbred racehorse breeding, they practice it. You know, they practice these theories. The more they practice, the more data they get. But every time, it's always a roll of the dice, gentlemen. But if we can put these theories into practice and have these formulas, and based off of our, you know, shuffling, and based off of our genetics that we're pairing, you know, we have multiple chances to get it right. And the beautiful thing about dogs versus horses, like we said, they only have they might get twins. Most of the time, they only get one horse every breeding. We get, God might bless us with a 6-pack, a 10-pack, a 12-pack, a 20-pack. So imagine how much faster we can get to our end result than they can. A lot faster. But if you don't have this in your mindset, when you're doing your breedings, whatever it might be, whether it be your line breedings, your inbreedings, your outcrosses, whatever it might be, your F1s, okay, if you're not automatically saying, okay, I got this and that, this is something new, I need to add something to my line, I don't know what I'm going to get, but I do have a good assessment of the parents. They're elite in what their traits they can bring to the table. I know based off of what this dog has produced, I should get a probability of, you know, this percent, and I should get a probability of that percent from this, you know, this mate. If I combine them, that synergy, that balance should get me something. Only if I test and keep, I will assess and know. Okay, this is very important. That's why I wanted to have this class tonight, because a lot of people don't really understand this part of the game. You know, a lot of people hear people talk about culling dogs. They cull puppies and shit, you know? You know, even in the game dog world, you hear about the old timers breeding cold dogs and shit like that and producing top tier fucking performance dogs. Same thing with thoroughbred racehorses. Same shit. Same shit. So you need to trust your genetics. Okay? You need to trust your genetics. If you don't trust your genetics, you don't know what you're going to get. If you trust your genetics, you have a probability that you could possibly get what's behind that DNA. You follow me?
Yep.
Please, gentlemen, pay attention in class.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go ahead and in the chat. I know y'all was
I'm not
cooking in
gonna
the
lie,
chat.
Coach, somebody just said some trolling ass shit in the chat. But
I
I
don't give a
was gonna
fuck
say all Coach be doing is
about
pulling
that
out
guy.
similarities. For sure.
We don't give a fuck about the dummies and shit. We don't care about them. Hey, who's this guy? Matter of fact, let me see. Let me give you your 30 minutes or your 30 seconds of fame. I enjoy the contents, but sometimes I swear this man is on drugs. He goes way off the reservation. Bro, do you pay attention in class? Charlie, do you follow the prompt? Because everybody else can follow the prompt. Are you just dumb and you can't read the prompt and comprehend what we break down? You just that fucking idiot? Are you an idiot? You can't read, huh? Because everybody else gets it, but you don't get it? Bro, all I got is a vodka lemonade. The fuck you talking about, Charlie? You motherfucking idiot. You better square up when you get in this class. You talking stupid as fuck. Look at the chat. Everybody in this chat got something to say that's positive about the content, but you weren't about going off the reservation. What the fuck you talking about, Charlie? You must be new to this class. You just showed how stupid you are. If you can't handle this type of content, get the fuck out of here. Learn how to read. Why don't you read the shit? Talking about going off the reservation. Everybody else understood the content. The fuck out of here. Dummy. Let's go. Let's go back in the chat. I don't like stupid motherfuckers that say stupid ass shit. You think that's cool? Not in this class. Dumbass. Fucking idiot. Here we go. Let's see. I got to make sure I get everybody who was cooking over here. I know y'all was cooking in this motherfucker. Let me see. Old school blood, comeback, athletic bulls. Damn, y'all was cooking in this bitch. Anything that you see ready? It's like you might have.
I can't even see the chat, but I think Verde probably could see that joint. He usually could see them. Right?
Yeah, Chris was over there cooking. Everybody was cooking. 419, 416 was cooking in here.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna keep it 100. The chat was cooking this whole time.
I know.
Like,
That's all.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Damn near every segment, they had something to say about it.
416 said first breeding healthy genes override poor genes, but after the second breeding, weaker genes are more numerous than F1s, and you get a wider variety of genetic variants. Yeah, I can see that. First breeding healthy genes override poor genes. Okay. But after the second breeding, weaker genes are more numerous. Okay. Yeah. Then F1. Yeah. And you get a wider variety of genetic variants. Yeah. Well, it's a two-edged sword like we teach. It's a two-edged sword, you know, and because it's a gamble, and as we get in that genetic shuffle, you don't necessarily know. I mean, you can hope, but we don't know what we're going to get the outcome. When you think about the complete dog, right? Because that's what we're talking about, 416, you know what I mean? Like what you're talking about and what we're talking about is the complete dog. So everything plays. Shout out to Ready for that. Everything plays. Okay. Typus. What's that? What's that? Types? What? Man, I don't know how to. If I spotted your name, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Diversity is the key to picking out the toughest immune super dog to mix with the cake you already have. Yes, diversity is the key. We talked about that. You're correct. That is the key. Diversity. Okay. But like we always tell you guys, when it comes to your breeding, right? We use every method of breeding, but it needs to be a rhyme or reason behind it. A rhyme or reason why you're going to inbreed, why you're going to line breed, why you're going to outcross. Okay. However, we know genetic diversity is our savior. It is. So I agree. Solo Bullies, big salute. I don't think we ever seen Solo. Big salute to you, Solo. Solo Bullies. He says, would inbreeding / line breeding still be considered as reshuffling? Yes, but, okay, like when we talk about that we talk about the F1 and we breed the F1s together to create the F2s, that is a level of reshuffling still, because they're each dog is an individual. Would you agree with that, Caveman? Each dog is an individual dog that, even though they carry their parents' genetic characteristics, they're still different from each other, right?
Yes, and that's the whole point to the line breeding, is because your dogs are diverse and you're trying to bottleneck in a certain amount and maintain that a certain amount. So yeah, that's why you're line breeding.
Got it. So Solo, hopefully that answers your question. So it is still reshuffling. It is. Let's see what we got.
Every time something with DNA makes a sex chromosome, it reshuffles. But it's what is in the mix to be reshuffled.
I get it.
That is true. Like with the bullies, you're only going to be throwing, like you said, two possibilities compared to if you take in two unrelated species. The possibilities is higher. Your desires is higher too.
Yep.
Like kind of goes back to say like you're almost bottlenecking the situation. And not to talk down on like line breeding or pure braids or nothing like that, but when you're breeding for characteristics and you want that heavy, you know I don't even know what to call them no more, but you just want that
They're
bully type
just
of look.
kind of tightening it more. They tightening it, and
Yeah, but you
they
gotta
want the
understand that
same
goes.
shit.
But that goes back to what K-Man was just saying, like how when you're doing that, you're also doubling up on recessive traits to the point now you got nothing but recessives that looks good, but can it move
That's
and
what they
perform?
want.
True that. True that.
Breeding for qualitative traits is a lot easier than what we're talking about. It's a lot easier to lock in a phenotype and
Right.
the performance and then elite performance.
Right. That's why this is the highest level of breeding, because we're making a complete dog, functional performance dog. It's a lot to it. It's a lot harder. Okay. It's a lot harder. All right. Shout out to Chris. He said pure is when the families are heavily inbred. Yes and no, Chris. Now, pure is when that animal can produce what it is to me, period. Because you can have a pure, heavily inbred dog that can't produce itself. So it's always contrary, because not every purebred is a producer and not every scatterbred is not a producer. We already learned that. So like I said, you got to play with it. In theory, that makes sense. In theory, it makes sense.
I see what he's saying, and even though it might not be dominant or prepotent, it might still be pure. Like it might be purely recessive, but it's
Yes.
not pre.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So pure in the fact that does it purely produce whatever it is? Well, I don't care what it is. Recessive, high performance, purple color, fucking big ass hands, pure in what it produces.
But what I'm saying, and maybe what he's saying is, if you have a red-nosed dog that's pure red nose, it's still not prepotent because that red nose is recessive. So if you breed that to a black dog, you're gonna have no red pups.
I've seen that a lot.
Well, that's not true though, because you know why? Because I bred AK to a black bitch, and I got a fucking dog named Peaches, a fucking she's damn near like a red nose. So that's not true.
Yeah. So, but that's
Okay,
because AK is pretty potent.
yeah, I left that part out. The black dog had red nose in it then.
No, the black dog, she didn't have no red nose. You know who had the red nose? AK had the red nose.
AK pre-potent as a motherfucker.
No, it's just like I said, just like we learned with meiosis. This is what I'm telling you guys. It's always a reshuffling. You don't know if it's in the line, it's in there. If it's in there, it's in there. If God wanted to come out, it's coming out. You cannot predict it. Period.
50-50.
It's a roll of the dice. She told us
It's a roll of the dice, really, in each
it's a
individual
roll of the
puppy.
dice.
We can't even say, and we say it's 50-50 F1s, but even your F1s could be 20-75, 30 this.
No, what
So
she's saying, this is what
So I
she's saying.
made up a roll of a dice.
This is
Dice
what
roll.
she's saying. It's 50-50 when you roll the dice. It's 50-50 if you can. It's 50-50 if you don't. It's 50-50 if
okay,
you hit. It's 50-50 if you don't. It's 50-50 if you get the same what you got last litter. It's 50-50 if you don't. Period. She just told us that meiosis is a reshuffling every fucking breeding. Every one. Now, if you breed two prepotent dogs that are the same, you breed the same ones that you know that only can produce what they are, and that's it, your probability of getting that is pretty high. Okay? Pretty high. But guess what happens when you keep breeding that same shit over and over again? That shit starts to fucking deplete. Inbreeding depression happens. We learned that in the class.
And that's I'm gonna keep it 100. I thought we were talking about that, like genetics like that. I didn't know we was talking about, because I know we could lose vigor in interbreeding, and I understand that. So
We're not
I know.
talking about vigor, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about vigor. We're just talking about a dog that is this and a dog that is that, and it produces what it is. Now, then you got a dog that is this. Like I said, I got a black dog and I got an AK, and I got fucking a yellow dog out of that motherfucker. I got a black dog out of that motherfucker, and I got a red nose out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, there was somebody hiding in the woodpile.
No, AK got red nose in his blood.
Yeah, I'm talking about on the other dog's lineage.
No, ain't no red nose in there. I already know what it is. That's my shit. Ain't no red nose in that shit. None. Oh, hold on, okay, man. I lie. I'm a liar. There's a chocolate red nose in there. I'm a liar. So there is. I'm a liar. But at the same time,
It was recessive.
hold on, but what you seeing, right? Which, let's say you didn't know that.
Watch out, mama.
I do know what's way behind there. So as I think about it, I am a liar. There is one. There's a chocolate red nose way back in the line. Okay. But if you didn't know, let's say you didn't know that, because most of your pedigrees don't tell you what color they are, all the shit, right? Tells you a name, date, whatever. Let's say you didn't know that, and you just take what you see, what you get, you breed them, and then you're like, what the fuck? Or let's say that litter you did the last time was only whatever, black nose, and you got black and buckskins. Then you did it again, maybe, the next time, then you got this fucking red dog and shit with a red nose. You're like, what the fuck that come from?
Both of their genetic line patterns connected the
It's
same.
the shuffling of the genes, meiosis.
Yep. He found how to bring that shit out, that bitch. She had it.
Yeah,
She had it already.
Saying earlier about recessives, you don't know until you double up on them.
But what I'm
So
saying, what I'm
have
saying,
background, as long as you never match two dogs that carried it, you'd never know it was there.
but what if you bred it one time and it didn't even come out? And then you bred it the second time and it did come out.
Sometimes it skips a generation.
Fellas, I don't want us to forget, every breeding is a reshuffling.
Yeah, but dominant recessive, it just is what it is. If you bred dogs one time and there was no recessive traits showing, that means only one dog carried that recessive trait. When you breed those pups with each other, they will absolutely show that recessive trait.
Well, yeah. But yeah, if you breed those pups together, we're not talking about that though.
Or if you breed them to another dog that carries that trait.
Okay, I get that. I get that. Okay, I get that. But don't assume shit when you breed dogs. I'm just letting you know that shit. Don't assume nothing. Don't assume shit. Just roll your dice. Just roll your dice. Now, this is where I haven't dealt with this before in my lines, like a dog that's not genetically diverse. I never had a dog that's just so bottlenecked that it is just one thing. I've never owned a dog like that. So I don't know. I've never bred a dog like that. And I don't want a dog like that personally, but I've never bred a dog like that. So I can't come at it from a dog that only has this in it and that's all you're going to get. I don't know nothing. I've never owned a dog like that. So for those of you who have them type of dogs, you can kind of guarantee because your dog is just heavily fucking bottlenecked out, then you know your experience and your practice is going to be different than mine. Like, period. And so again, this is why we talk as a supercomputer, because everybody has their own experience with their own dogs, and which is fine. Okay. But all I'm telling you guys to do in theory is practice it. All of it, so that you can get your theories crushed. Because I guarantee you it will. And like I said, all you guys got to do is study thoroughbreds, man. If you want to really learn fucking breeding at the highest level and how them motherfuckers got all the money, they done did all the testing, they done all the stats, and they still get different shit. If them motherfuckers are still getting different shit and they got all the resources behind it, then what the fuck, what you think we gonna get? If their theories is getting crushed every fucking time they do a breeding, then what the fuck we gonna get?
The same shit they got.
That's why I tell you, guys and gals, all we doing is assisting God. We not God at the end of the day. Creation belongs to God. Now, them people in the lab that's taking DNA, splicing this shit, they over there, they're genetically modifying shit. They're different though. We're not genetically modifying nothing. We just taking two fucking dogs who have their own genetic profiles and mixing them. That's all we doing. Whatever comes out is whatever God decides to give us. Period. That's why they don't allow cloning in thoroughbred racehorses, because they want that shit to be natural and fair. Because they know it's a fucking lottery. So they got to make it fair for all the competitors. If I can just clone fucking Secretariat and I own them and that shit really come out like Secretariat, I'm whooping your ass every fucking time. They don't allow that shit. They don't allow no genetic modifying in thoroughbred racehorses. They don't allow it. They don't allow artificial insemination. You got to have natural ties. And every fucking time they got top tier horses and they do a breeding and they got a top tier fucking mare out of that, top tier fucking stallion out of that bitch, and that motherfucker performs and they do it again and they get one that's lackluster. Everything they ever wrote up in their lab, they got to start from scratch again. Like, fuck, it didn't work this time. Why? It worked last time. Why didn't it work this time? Let me read some more. Like, I mean, please hear me out, you guys. Like, please hear me. Like, I've done the K-Man, you done them too, but K-Man, like, one thing that I've done, because I've done so many different type of breedings and so many of them, and I've had so much expectations, and I really do my schematics before I do. I have my schematics for those fucking AK Malinois and AK Kangos already written down. I assess AK. I don't know what Snow White, my Kangal, produced because she never gave me nothing, but I know what her breeder and her parents produced. But I don't breed Kangals. I'm not making a Kangal. So all I can go off is what her parents are, what her grandparents are, what the breeder tells me they are, what I assess on my dogs, and I know what AK can produce. But guess what? It's still a roll of the dice. I don't give a fuck what I know. I don't care what technique I fucking breed. If I take AK to his daughter, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to get. Whether the theory tells me I should get that or not, that don't mean it's true. And when you breed long enough, you'll find that shit out. When you have notes on your fucking dogs and you look at your notes from the previous letter and you see they're not the same. You're like, what the fuck happened? Why did I get a different color? I bred the two parents. Why did I get a different one? Why did this dog look like this? Why did that dog act like this? This is real. Okay. 416 says F1 is 50-50 lab husky, so all pups are exactly 50-50. F2 pup could be 25, 75, 50-50, 75, 25 of the original breeds. That is correct. Now watch this. When you're assessing genetic traits or genetic characteristics and how, even though those dogs are 50-50, those 50-50 F1s, those puppies of those F1s are all different spectrums of that genetic 50-50. That's how complicated this shit is when you're really looking at your dogs. You know those people that believe in those pedigrees and they go, this dog was like that. That dog was like this. This dog was like that. The mom was like this. The mama like this. Mom was 2-time champion. This mama was a grand champion. This daddy was not a champion. This daddy was a one-time winner. Each one of them dogs in that pedigree is different. Whether they are part of the same family or not, they're still different. So out of that 50-50, which traits did you get out of that line? Do you know that? Can you pinpoint that in the offspring? When you really assessing your animal, can you pinpoint all those genetic characteristics from each parents in the line? Can you do that? Probably not. But watch this, like they learned in thoroughbred horse racing, because they was doing that. They had every stat on every goddamn stallion, every fucking mare, and they was finding out that shit is fucking irrelevant in the offspring. Go study it. Go study what they've already done. They did everything we done tried to do. They already been there, done that. And guess what it still is to them? It still is a fucking lottery to them. This is why we have this classroom, because I want us to understand these theories, but I want to understand that practicing theories is two different things. Just because you learn medicine don't mean you know how to practice medicine. Don't mean you practice medicine. Just because I made a fucking airplane last year that was fucking this way doesn't mean that I can't make a better one next year. Just because this technology worked on this fucking, this fucking aspect of this creation, this technology, doesn't mean that technology is going to fit well with the new technology. Even though it's a spin-off of the old. Me looking at my dogs, fellas, all my different creations and this, just looking at them, I get to assess what God created. Okay? What God created. I just mixed them. I can see what I don't like, what I do like, all the shit. And when you keep whole litters like this classroom, you get to see that they're different. And then if you've bred, let's say you had two pairings and you bred them 3 times, you see all 3 litters are different. We're not talking about phenotypes. We just talking about performance, personalities. They're each different dogs. None of them are the same, coming from the same parents, just like how you are with your brother and your sisters. Unless you're twins. And even when you're twins, you still got 2 different souls. Just because you look alike, you still 2 individuals. You just look alike. So again, I don't want us to get caught up in these theories, man. I want us to learn them as engineers, because we're supposed to study the dogmen who came before us, who actually put these theories into practice. Okay? And then you need to get in your fucking lab and you need to be cooking up your own dogs so you can find out for yourself. Just because you got a scatterbred dog doesn't mean you shouldn't breed the scatterbred because you think the purebred is going to produce you more than the scatterbred, or vice versa. Test them both. Shout out to Mayday, who was a scatterbred dog. Imagine if they didn't breed Mayday because he wasn't purebred. He's a scatterbred. I'm not going to breed a scatterbred. I'm getting all kinds. No, they would never get the competition dogs that they've gotten over the years off of Mayday. Huh? If they was thinking like how most people think when they talk theory. Don't ever breed a scatterbred dog because you're going to get all kinds of... What? If we're breeding performance dogs, who cares what I get phenotypically? As long as form follows function and they breed high performance competition animals, give me that. Chris Brown. Give a fuck what that dog looks like. Give me that. That's how they do racehorses. They look at racehorses to make sure their hindquarters, you got your walk around, your visuals. Okay, that hindquarters look like this. Okay, so that means that dog's gonna be able to, that horse is gonna be able to push. They're gonna have to grind. Like you're just assessing now. You're just looking at the animal before you test it. You're looking at the form to function. It's got those big rears, so that means you're gonna be able to push off the stride, right? And then you test that shit. And then even though that that horse looks like it, but it don't perform like it, I mean, that's just how it goes. But guess what? You get that ugly horse that you be like, oh, that shit ain't built right. Oh, that look at the front legs, how it's built. And that motherfucker whoop all your motherfucking pretty damn horses' asses. Study thoroughbreds, man. Do what the coach do. Study. Compare your program to thoroughbreds. Then you get to see what I'm talking about. You be like, oh, I see why coach talk the way he talk. I get it. I see how they made those mistakes, those assumptions off of theories, and then there's this underdog horse that whoops all they ass. It's like, what? The underdog, well, the one that, all that shit that people like, oh, that ain't shit. Oh, look at that, all that, blah, blah. People talk about it. They just talk about the shit. Sounds good. Talk about it. But have you tested it? Your horse is built great, but does it got the mindset of a winner? Does it got the spirit of a winner? No? Okay, well then shit, it ain't shit. Oh, your horse is bigger than mine, prettier than mine. My horse is scrawny, whatever. But my horse got more heart and built internally built for performance than yours, and then it whoops yours. But in theory, you would have told me to throw that horse in the trash. That's what you would have told me. Oh, that horse don't measure up to this. Oh, that he don't qualify. Cut him out. He don't make it. What? But see, I have a lot of money invested in my program, but I'm speaking in general. We don't have the type of money invested to where you have to test everything. If you had that type of money invested in your program, you're not throwing nothing away until you test it all. That's why you would keep whole litters. That's why a theory is just a theory until it's proven in your program. Because how you test your dogs, if we all test our dogs the same, we all got different dogs, but we use the same theory, I guarantee we're going to get different results. I promise you, we all will get different results. See that guy that was in our class couldn't understand this conversation. This shit's over his head. You know what I'm saying? He don't get this type of shit. He not supposed to be in this motherfucking class, right? He thinks somebody on drugs when they telling you some real ass shit. See, he don't get this shit. This is like a foreign language to his dumb ass. That's why he gets the fuck out this goddamn classroom. I don't want no dummies in here. I want dogmen who fucking get it. And if you don't believe me, go study it. Go study thoroughbred horse racing. Go study thoroughbred horses. Do your fucking research your own goddamn self. Take it serious like I do. Go study thoroughbred horse racing trainers, like the trainers. Let them tell you about horses. Let them tell you how much of a lottery it is. When you got nothing but the best pedigrees to fuck with. Nothing but the best genetics to fuck with. Let them tell you how much every goddamn time they get a horse, it's a fucking roll of the dice. Let them tell you if you don't believe me. I know from my own program. But let them tell you if you don't believe it. All the coaches are talking, I just want to believe in, I want to believe in basic shit. Oh, yeah, the theories, if I follow this, I'm going to get that. Sounds good. Sounds fucking good. You ain't did enough breedings yet. You ain't had enough fucking failures yet in your programs. You ain't had enough of that yet. Huh? You never took your popular sire and bred him to a whole bunch of bitches and seen how fucking inconsistent that is. You ain't never had that happen to you before, have you? Huh? You ain't never line bred yourself to a genetic bottleneck. You ain't never inbred yourself to a motherfucking inbreeding depression. You never outcross yourself to where your shit's all over the place. You ain't never did none of that. You ain't never practiced nothing that you guys, I'm just talking to general fellas. You ain't never practiced any of these theories. You just hear it. You might have done one of them. You never did them all for a purpose. And if you have, then you will concur and you will agree with what I'm talking about. You will. You will. I promise you, you will. If you assess all your dogs and you take all the notes, you will. Keep some litters. Try that first. But I digress, man. I'm going to digress off of that, man. Anything you guys want to add? I digress.
I can see the comments now.
You see anything that you want to put on the screen?
There's a lot of them.
Hey, what's that? Stan? What's it?
Tape's got some good joint though.
Bulls. Big salute to you, Stan. Your shorty bulls. Welcome, brother. We got Lauren. Oh, I think that might be a female. Lauren,
shorty bulls.
833. Big salute to you. Yeah. Lauren. What else we got? Bulldog. Big salute to you, Bulldog. Welcome back, brother.
Salute now.
We got only the council in the building, my brother. Only the council in the building. Hey, you're right. You're right. 416. It's always 50-50. But again, what's in that 50 and what's in that other 50? What genetic characteristics is in that 50 and what genetic characteristics in that other 50? It's just not as simple as 50-50. Okay? This is where we get it wrong. What is in that 50% and what's in that other 50%? Do you know? And then how is it going to shuffle? We don't know. We only know until God produces it in front of us and then we test it. Period. 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 Okay? Think of it like that. Okay? Okay, I know what that, like, try to know as much as you can about that parent that's 50% of that hybrid. And try to know as much as you can about what's that other 50%. But what I'm saying is what it can produce because we're breeding them now. Not just what it does and, how it performs and all that good shit that we use it for. What it can produce. Because that's why we breed them, right? We're not breeding them so they can perform. We're breeding them so they can produce. Not the same, but better. That's the art, fellas. Not the same, but better. It's hard. Like K-Man said, this is hard. The phenotype and genotype, but built for performance, not looks. Form and function. Form and function. The genotype. All the tangibles mentally, all the tangibles in his organs to perform, his joints or her joints, the angulation, the nares, the strength of the jaws, like we said, the pain tolerance, the willpower. Oh, there's a lot of shit you got to think about when you're cooking these dogs up. A lot. We got, what's that? NYLS?
Niles.
Oh, Niles. Big salute, Niles. What do you say? You say, are you saying you never had a homozygous dog? No, that's not what we're saying. At all. Let's see what else we got. What up, brother? Big salute. Hey, welcome. I think that's the first time he came to the class. Big salute to you, Niles. Welcome. So, okay, fellas, ladies, Man, we beat this one up. Go back, put your headphones on. If you guys want to read it for yourself, go back, watch the live. You can read everything that we have in the outline. I just want you guys to really think outside the box to create the circle. Because like I said, this spring, this summer, when I show you my shit, then this is what I love to do. When I show you what I do and I show you my dogs, it's not because I'm thinking in a box. It's not because I'm thinking just theory alone. I'm practicing what I learn. I'm studying those who I want to be like, and I'm putting my own ideas into reality, into cook-ups, and letting God show me what I cooked up. I'm letting God, I'm not guessing shit. I'm doing an educated guess in my notes. I'm letting God make me what he's gonna give me, and then I'm observing what God gave me. Period. But when I'm able to see what God gave me, because I wasn't in a box just thinking about theories, then I'm grateful that I think the way I think as an engineer, because I would never get them type of dogs if I was just thinking in theory alone. Period. I would never have fucking bred AK to so many different bitches if I was believing that, you know what, you'll never get who AK is because he's scatterbred. You want to take outcrosses, it's got to be a pure to pure, mix those together. Don't take a scatterbred and do it, because you're never going to get that consistency. Well, AK showed me that that's not true. I've had other dogs who were heavily line bred that wasn't producing shit for me. So that's not true about them heavily inbred, line bred dogs being able to produce great dogs. That's why I teach you guys the way I teach y'all. Okay, fellas? That's why you're in this classroom, because I'm telling you, you smart motherfuckers in this class, all you smart guys, you better test everything. Do not assume nothing. I'm gonna drill that in your fucking heads. Don't assume nothing. You test it. You test it. You test it. Everything is meant to be used. Like Reddy said earlier, everything plays. Put that in your mind, smart motherfuckers. We engineers. If I'm not pushing you to be better, then who the fuck am I to y'all? I ain't shit to y'all. If I'm not pushing y'all to be better. And how I'm pushing y'all is in my own program. Because I'm testing every damn theory. I guarantee you I'm testing it. I'm testing everything. Everything. I kept whole litters. I bred them together. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the art of balancing, like she taught us, to create synergy in my lines. I want synergy in my lines. I don't want an imbalance in my line. I want a synergy in my line. That's what I want. And you should want it too. Better, 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 better. Your schematics for your next breeding should say better. Now, if you're breeding show dogs, so I'm going to close out with this. If you're breeding show dogs, then this classroom is not for you. But we don't breed the same way as show dog breeders. Like, for example, Brother Raul, you seen that Verde, right? You see what Brother Raul was talking about, right? On his little inbreeding shot?
Yeah, Pete.
Okay, so Brother Raul, they breed differently than what we breed like. Okay? So their philosophy is going to be totally different than ours. Totally different than ours. So when you hear Raul talk about inbreeding, line breeding, it's not the same way as high performance breeding. High performance working dog breeding is not the same as bully breeding.
No, they're trying to double up on recessives, and we're trying to get rid of them.
Man.
Right.
And that's and what you called that again, K-Man? You said polyhybrids?
A polyhybrid, yeah, that's when you have many crosses
Within the same breed.
You know, you got a pure, then you got a hybrid, then you got composite. Anything 3 or more mixes is a poly.
Shout out to Tony. He said, no point in trying to guess. It's about testing theories, improving, and collecting data. And data doesn't mean it will repeat itself. Facts! Tony, you've been paying attention in class. Not like that fucking idiot that was in here. Salute to Tony. He was paying attention in class. Not like that idiot that was in here who didn't get it. Period. Let me read that one more time, Tony. No point in trying to guess. It's about testing theories, improving, and collecting data. And data doesn't mean it will repeat itself. Damn it, Tony. Damn, what a summary. How simple he fucking summarized this whole class. Testing theories, collecting data. And no matter how much data you have and how many times you bred it the same fucking way, it does not mean it will reproduce itself the same as it did the last time. This is facts, fellas, engineers. Engineers. Okay, let me see. My topic says something before we close out. He says, my vision is to put my whippet over my female English bull terrier. Ooh, okay. Then my English Staffordshire terrier under a female pup later. Ooh, see, this is what I love about you guys. You guys have so many cool ass fucking ideas, like the pioneer dogmen and dogwomen who created breeds of the past, like Mr. Doberman and all them other breed creators. This is why I love our classroom, because I want to encourage you guys to really think about what you want to do. I want to encourage you to use your imagination, use your creativity, use your artistry, and study different breeds, study how they were made. You know, it's like study it all the theories, study it, and then do like doctors do and put it in practice. And then guess what we do? Because we're gambling every time. We're gonna do what? We're gonna roll what? Ready?
Roll
What are
the
we gonna
dice.
roll? Yeah, we're gonna roll the dice every fucking time. And we're not gonna roll the dice once because we keep whole litters. We're gonna roll the dice as many times as we can because we got the whole litter to roll on, not 1 or 2 pups.
Always got a new, fresher deck of cards.
Yeah, I got a new genetic combination I can bring together and shuffle the cards up and roll them. If that don't work, I go take it to another one and shuffle the cards up and roll them again. If that don't work, I'll take another combination, shuffle them up and roll them again. Damn it. Damn, I got options over here in the lab. I can cook now. I digress, man. You know what I mean? Anything y'all want to add before I close out, man? We done beat this one up. Please, I hope you guys pay attention in class. Please, guys. That's why we here. That's why we got all these smart individuals here, man. I love all you guys' feedback. None of you guys are wrong. We're here to have a collective brain, but at the end of the day, we should be like real shit. We should be encouraging each other to try it. When you guys have a comment, say, I heard this or I did that. However, try it if you can get something different. Let's share data. That's why I love that K-Man's on here because K-Man, he does a lot of different breedings. K-Man has done a lot of different breedings, so he's seen a lot of different stuff. And he's a cultivator, and he's a fucking pioneer of some fucking cannabis too. Shout out to K-Man too. K-Man, go ahead and give yourself a shout out on your cannabis shit, man. Before we close, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, come check me out on my YouTube, my IG. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do a little something with my genetics with the community. Do a little grow along.
Okay, tell them what it is so they know how to follow you and stuff like that.
Caveman 1974 on YouTube. Caveman Seeds on Instagram.
Okay, y'all into that fucking that cannabis breeding and cannabis period. K-Man know all that shit. Seeds, all the shit. K-Man not only does he know dogs, he know a lot of things. So shout out to K-Man. He's a real geneticist. So if you into that cannabis, K-Man.
Yep, living soil too.
Oh, and he got the soil recipe too. So tap into K-Man. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're a community. We're brothers. You know what I mean? Let's link up. But at the same time, please think outside the box to create the circle. We love you guys. We thank you guys for participating in the class. Please come back for next week. We'll have some great topics. But you know what? Hit this on repeat, man. You know what I mean? Keep your whole litters. We out.
Peace.
Word, next week, y'all. Peace.
Salute Coach, salute Ready, salute Caveman, salute the chat.
Yes.
Word.
Salute everybody, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We out. Hey.
Listen, do some work. Do some work. Why? Do some work. Why? Do some work. Do some work. Get some blood on your shirt. Do some work. Get some blood on your shirt. Do some work. Get some blood on your shirt. Do some work. Get some blood on your shirt. Do some work. Get some blood on your shirt. Take off your skirt. Yeah, don't flirt. Get it in. Yeah, it's time to win. Yes, it's time to get up. Yes, it's time to win. Yes, free from sin, born again. Do some work, get some blood on your shirt. It's so frightening, it's exciting. When I get it in, it strikes like lightning. Electricity, do some work. Don't be afraid to get blood on your shirt. Yeah, sometimes it hurts, but I guarantee it works. Ooh, don't flirt, don't wear a skirt. Be a man, please understand. It's time to work, it's time to do additions. It's time to work, it's time to go on missions. Stay in tune with the God, fuck the squad. If you ain't in tune with us, yeah, I go solo, don't you know though? So 100 nation, that's for sure though. I do the work, I get the blood on my shirt, oh my God, yes it squirts. But I let it release, I get the peace. Oh my God, I slay them devils, rest in peace. Till they lay down and deceased. And do some work, get some blood on your shirt. I don't acknowledge no shit that is fake. I can't stand police niggas, they're jakes. Yes, you cannot relate. Sometimes you do the math that doesn't equate. Oh my God, heaven's sakes. Oh my God, what the hell, yeah. What's the smell? I don't smell shit, cause you don't know how to do nothing. You don't know how to do it. Nigga, quit, forfeit, lay it down. Shh, don't make a sound. Yes, I'm profound and I get it in. Yes, we're born to win. I said, do some work, get some blood on your shirt. It's a soldier's life, nigga, blood on your shirt. Fuck all the laughing shit, fuck all the flirts. Fuck all the play shit, fuck all the skirts. We not feminine, we not like women. We like men, we get it, then we born again. Stop that shit, please, stop that shit. Do some work and get some blood on your shirt. Don't make me shake you up, don't make me wake you up. Don't make me slam you down, lay you to the ground. Shake you up, take the bitch out of you. Lift you up, take the bitch out of you. I pursue to take the bitch out of you. I pursue to take the bitch out of you. Ladies, don't be afraid. Fuck these niggas, don't be they slave. Yes, they'll take you down to the grave. Listen, bitches, Don't be their slave, fuck with a king. Be a queen, come through, move like a machine. Stay mean and stay clean. Look up in the sky, yes, have a dream. Martin Luther King, the God that flows through me. Yes, they call me T-E-E-S-I-R-E. Sire, oh, I'm on fire. Lightning strikes, I ain't no liar. I speak the truth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Press rewind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Press rewind. Yes, it strikes through the spine. It strikes through the roof. It's the truth. Mathematics, get it in. Mathematics, get again. 1, 2, 3,